I wouldn't doubt it.
You think so?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
you are a theorist. Ah.
It's Friday night. What do you have in that cup?
You know what? Today is a coffee day. Okay. It's been a long kind of a week.
Guys.
Hey.
Hello.
We made it.
So we were supposed to go live at 8:30, right? Well, it's 9 o'clock. And the reason being is Starlink was dead.
I think they did it on purpose. That's just my opinion.
I haven't been talking a lot of shit about Starlink, so why would they take us down? I don't know. John here says Starlink was down for almost 30 minutes. So obviously there's something going on.
Ooh, William Rifey said my Starlink was down for almost an hour. What is happening? I don't know. That's the question.
All right. Before we get into it, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here, joining us with your possibly cup of tea.
Happy
maybe
Friday.
Maybe a cup of coffee like she has. Yeah, happy Friday. It's been crazy. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, something harder maybe. It is Friday. Yeah. I was going to have a little bit of Kraken, would have been good for tonight, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't because, so we came out to the, all right, full circle. We came out to the studio and everything's down. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Everything is absolutely dead. I go into Starlink. Starlink is like pissed. It has absolutely no signal. I haven't seen that before, especially during the day, or it's like night, 9 o'clock. Reboots usually don't happen until like maybe 3 a.m. or something like that. And sure damn enough, it was down and it says that it was rebooting. And I'm like, rebooting. So I took a couple of screenshots because I'm like, I never seen this before. It says calibrating Starlink. Your Starlink just powered on. Network performance should stabilize after 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, 15 minutes, we can wait. You know, we had plenty of time. 15 minutes goes by. And I'm like, this thing is not getting any better. And now it's looking something like this. Can we guys see this? Or it's still focused on us probably. You know what? Maybe, how if we do something like this? Can you see that? There we go. That looks better.
Fancy.
Fancy,
You're
schmancy. Look at that. So
tonight.
This is what it looks like. We're down all of this time. I took another shot and we were still down. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I looked at it and I'm like, there's just something is just not right here. And then finally, when I actually got into the program itself, I saw that it was like 29 minutes down and it was still booting and still acquiring signal or whatever it was trying to do. Normally that only takes about, like they said, 15 minutes. I would say it took, every other time that I've seen reboots, it takes like 5. 15 is a really long time. I think they just put that out there. But like 5-10 minutes and the thing is working. This was down for 30 minutes. I'm like, it's not. And then it said obstruction. I'm like, there's no damn obstruction. So yeah, guys, I don't know what the hell happened. And I guess all of you are experiencing the same thing. The only thing everywhere. I can think of is maybe it's like a rolling outage that's happening, because I think at the very beginning, the first message that came in from John, it said Starlink was down for almost 30 minutes today. And that's what we experienced here too. It's like 29 minutes. Let's call it 30 minutes. But
it seems to be across everywhere because we have people from Portugal, Mexico.
Is everyone saying this?
Yeah, Tennessee, it's just back up in now. So it kind of seems to be going across everywhere.
So this is just,
from Mexico to Portugal is a long way.
Yeah. So what I was going to talk about.
Vermont is up now.
Nice. So what I was going to talk about, besides, data breaching and all kinds of other stuff with Western Digital, I was going to talk a little bit about Starlink and how in my last video, that thing just popped off. There's like 20, 30,000 views on it. And I was talking about T-Mobile and how I brought in T-Mobile Internet Home. Guys, we're using T-Mobile Internet Home right now. So I'm actually using something that I really can't talk about as of yet. It's kind of NDA'd, but I'm using a bond between the T-Mobile Internet Home as well as Starlink. I want to know how it looks tonight. I want to know if there's any outages, if anything goes down, because if this works as I hope it does, what this means is we should not have any outage. Even if Starlink decides to wet the bed again, we should be okay, because T-Mobile should pick up and just keep on feeding you guys the transmission here, the feed. So let me know what happens today. This is going to be a test right across the board. This is like the big test. And I'm glad that this happened now, because the last video I did, I just talked about Starlink alternatives and how, it's very difficult to just rely on one thing. And that's why I ended up getting the T-Mobile home internet when I did. The day that it came available, I ordered it and we had it here in 2 days. And if you haven't watched the last video that I did, thank you very much. That's really nice. The flying pretzel with a nice little contribution. Thank you. Appreciate that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to. But it's nice anyways. Anyway, so I was talking about this in the last video and how good the T-Mobile was, and I was very shocked that it was as good as it was. So, and we respect, I was going back and forth. Is this going to be primary? Is it going to be secondary? Watch that video. I literally go through the whole gamut of testing T-Mobile, testing it on the computer, testing it on the phone, testing the Mr. Bevel, of course, your Starlink on the phone, on the whole 9 yards, just to see what the speeds are. And speeds on Starlink have been increasing. They're almost at the speed of what they were when we were in beta, and things are looking really good. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Well, today,
boom.
Boom.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're going to be with you guys probably for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours would be maximum. And we're going to try not to do 2 hours. Last time we went just way too long. Do me a favor. Put a Q for question, a Q before any questions that you have in the chat window, because sometimes the chat starts going a little bit crazy. It's hard to keep up with.
And you know what? Thanks, Peter. He's on it.
Here you go. Is Peter on it?
Yeah, he already said it out there. He put it out there.
Peter, you're the best.
You're the bomb.
Thank you so much. I'm going to have to figure out how to do moderator stuff, and I'm going to give you moderator privilege, and you can kind of boot people when they get nasty. But there's no one nasty in the community, so you don't really need to worry about that. But thank you for keeping that out there. Whenever you can, cut, paste, stick it in there for me. That would be fantastic, Peter. Thank you so much. So once again, put that Q before your question so it's easier for us to find it. Scroll up all the way to the top, and then
that's a lot.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. There's so many people. This is fun.
My goodness, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of here we go. So yeah, there's over 100 of you there. I think there's about 120, 100 and something. Welcome everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Any questions, put them in there. We're going to answer them. I'll do my best. Fabiola is really exceptional, is going through all of these questions. And what I want to do is I want to hit even the ones that don't say Q. I just want to kind of go through everything so nothing is missed. I don't like to miss any anything.
I mean, the opening part.
If it's something that's just back and forth with them, we'll just kind of let that be.
Well, the opening part is just everybody has pretty much been on the same wavelength that it's been down from, 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
California,
from California,
40 minutes.
All the way from, like I said, from California, Portugal, Mexico, Vermont.
Oh, wow. There's 40 over there too.
Yeah. So, but it seems to be that everybody is
I can't believe
again.
Portugal is down too. So
well, they were, but
so if Portugal's down and all different locations in the U.S. are also down, or going through this rolling brownout, let's call it, or a rolling blackout, or a rolling reboot, why wouldn't that happen at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.? Why would it happen just randomly? The very first person, Jason, I think it was, that said that earlier today he had a 30-minute outage. Mm-hmm. So that's odd. Something is going on there. That has to be a major update that is happening. Most likely, I'm going to speculate that update is not necessarily on our routers, on our modem, which it could be. Maybe it's a new firmware patch that came up. But I think that it's also an update on those POPs, or the point of presence, or the ground stations, because this is happening everywhere.
So Brian X said Elon was tweeting slight glitch, and he also said that bad ground station cert.
No shit. So there you go.
No
All right.
chat.
Yes. So my speculation's right. Ground station. So yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you very much, Brian. Anyone else get any information about what's going on? Just put it into this feed. Put it into the chat window so that we know, because this is hot. This is happening right now as we speak. And some of you might just go down during this feed. And
we might go down during this feed.
Well, we won't, because we have
that's
T-Mobile.
Right. I forgot.
So when we went live, this is on T-Mobile. Right now, we're bonding T-Mobile and the Starlink together. And I'm seeing the majority of the outbound traffic is currently going through both of them, actually. So it is doing a very nice job of doing a load balance between the two. I like that. That's good. Anyways, so this will be good. It is doing a redundant stream. So this solution that I will be talking to you guys about probably next week. I'm doing testing for the last 2 weeks. This is the first live test. So definitely let us know if anything goes down, if there's any hiccups, anything goes kind of funky, and let me have a timestamp. If you would be so kind, just put a timestamp where something hiccuped. And if we see that everyone is at that same timestamp, we know that it's on our side. It might not be, maybe it's on your side. So if it's just one person, it's not an issue. But I'll go back into the logs and check out this bonding to see what happens. Anyways, we're sitting here with like well over 130, I guess, 127 people now. So we don't want to miss any. Once again, put that queue for any kind of questions before the questions. Let's go.
Just a lot of people are
Jamaica.
saying that
Jamaica was
yeah,
down.
they were down. Jamaica was down. A lot of people are just saying that they're back up and they're happy to be back up.
Says took 20 minutes.
Well, some people had outages for 45 minutes.
Wow. Gotcha.
Look right here. Mountain life, hunting, fishing, and logging down for 40 minutes here in Idaho.
Wow. Okay. 45 minutes here. Washington State.
Back up.
And it's crawling. Let's see. Submitted a ticket.
Matthew,
don't even bother submitting a ticket. This is a global thing that's going on right now. This outage. It's definitely global. So there's no reason. They're probably inundated with support tickets, and they're just going to cut and paste the exact same thing over and over. So you're not going to get any new news, let's just say. Let's see. Tommy said a good 30 minutes over there. Bad ground. I wonder what was the story with the ground stations. So he's saying bad ground cert. What?
Oscar Chunuk said, even here in Alaska, we experienced the outage.
So if anyone has Elon's feed on Twitter, keep us abreast to anything new that he says or SpaceX says during this feed, so that we know what is kind of going on and we can kind of put it out for the whole community.
Clinton Emerson said,
thank you, Flying Pretzel. Thank you very much.
Caused by expired ground station cert, we're scrubbing at the system for other single point vulnerabilities.
So a cert, so some type of certificate. Now ground state scrubbing for other single point vulnerabilities. So is that some type of security cert? Is that like a standard certificate like you would get like with SSH or an SSL or an HTTPS type of cert? Is that what they're talking about? Or is it, I mean, I don't know. I hate to speculate. I mean, I did say that I think that it had to do with either the POPs or the ground stations. So if it is the ground stations where the problem is, then I mean, yeah, I mean, that could be, their security certificate ended up expiring, which is really, really weird. I mean, for a mega company like that, for that to happen, someone is they're going to be out on Monday. They're going to be, they're not going to have a job on Monday. I don't even know.
I don't know.
That's a global outage. Anyways, hello from Oklahoma on day 2 of my Starlink system. Wow. Nice, nice, nice. So welcome to the Starlink community. 2 days with Starlink. I remember that. We had Starlink now for about about a year and a half now, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere on there.
Yeah.
We just, I got it just at the end of beta. So our unit is like unit number, I think it's like 1900 or 2000 or something. It's like one of the very first Gen 2s that were in the production line.
You're special.
We're so damn special. Aren't we?
No, you're special.
Thank you.
You're special, K.
You're very, very sweet to me. All right. What else we got here?
We
What is
have
this? Transylvania?
Yeah, I was gonna say Sebastian Florin. Greetings from Romania, Dracula. Transylvania.
Nice.
Hello from Florida.
I know. Wow. It's Transylvania. Awesome. Eric says, I set my beer down on top of Starlink dish, and then someone decided to access the app and stow the dish. It caused me to spill my beer. Worst case. Yeah. Alcohol abuse. Yes, that is the worst case of alcohol abuse I've heard in quite some time. Yeah, I ran outside when it said that there was an obstruction or something was going on, and I looked up at the dish, and I'm like, that dish is pointing exactly where it's supposed to point. So it wasn't like off, and it didn't have to reacquire signal. That was just, kind of nonsense that the app came up with. It was fine.
And to be clear, he ran out maybe 3 times, more than once.
I was like, okay, so, I was panicking because,
Slightly.
when I say that we're going to go live at, let's say 8:30, I want to go live at 8:30, not at 8:50 or whenever. So I'm like, how are we going to do this? Okay, Starlink is down. I could use AT&T,
Right.
Uverse, which is complete crap.
Right.
So that's not going to work,
Right.
So that won't work. And then I said, holy crap, we have T-Mobile, right? I just installed it 2 days ago. And I was doing a lot of beta testing with it. And I said, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to go live with T-Mobile, and I'm going to use this new bonding system that I'm currently on and testing for the last couple of weeks. And we're going to use that. We're going to go live T-Mobile, and whenever Starlink comes back, it will go ahead and bond the two together, and then we'll be using both. And just by looking at it right now, the statistics show, yes, we are bonding, and we have a redundant connection through 2 tunnels. So we're going through both Starlink and T-Mobile. So, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, anyways, so let's get back into some of these questions.
Okay.
Welcome everyone. If you just got here, put that Q before any questions that you have so that we can find them.
And we're just getting started because we've obviously just got online, so you haven't missed that much yet.
Yeah. Besides the panic.
Yeah.
So we got over here.
I should have had video of you behind the scenes running around.
I know, right? And just sped it up
Yeah.
and just ran
Yeah.
like, I don't know, some kind of, yeah.
I wasn't thinking. Jeff LeBlanc, my Starlink internet is presently down in Saskatchewan, Canada. Your live chat looks good. I am away at my second home and have high-speed fiber internet watching.
Wow. High-speed fiber internet. That is fantastic. We hate you, but that is great that you have it. Welcome.
Ken Mason, yep, I was taking a nap and woke up to mine being out. I can't believe it actually reset. I don't think there has been a full month in 9 months that I haven't had, lost connection.
Yeah, and it's funny. Starlink has been so stable. I know people are like, oh, it's satellite, this, that, never. We've been here using it for a year and a half now, and it is very, very stable. We have never seen a 30, 40, 50-minute outage ever.
That's why you were running around.
Yeah, I'm running around like, what the hell is going on here, And then what was even worse, guys, is the router that we have, the T-Mobile router, decided to... it like rebooted or something. Don't know what happened. It's just, it's a fluke. And then we were waiting for that to come on. I'm like, oh my God, this is just not going well. It's not going well. Anyways, we made it. What's the next one over here? Cody says, in-app it says, service outage in the area. Internet is up 40 meg speed, lower than the 80 meg. Yes. So I'm experiencing lower speeds too right now. And I think that does have to do with so many people were out. Now, so many people are coming back online, and the amount of traffic is probably just horrendous right now, So it's going to take a while to wash out. I would say don't even do any speed tests tonight, because you're going to see low speeds and you're going to get all pissed, because I do. So, it kind of is what it is.
Did you update if you have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. My dish is finished updating and just rebooted. Yep, that's Norman. Thanks, Norman.
Corley, to be fair, when I was in Dallas using cable internet, it was down so often. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Cable is down a lot. Absolutely. Even fiber goes down a lot.
Aaron Gongas asked, speed test after update, what did you guys get?
Yeah, so Aaron, everyone's getting slow speeds right now after the update. But I don't think that's due to the update. I think that's just due to the amount of congestion, the amount of traffic. And if they're pushing updates out, those updates have to take effect, and then it has to relatch on. And now the amount of traffic that's happening, I mean, I think we're at like 1 million subscribers now. I think Elon has on Starlink. I think it's like 1 million or over 1 million. So you could just imagine. Yeah. And this is a worldwide event that's happening. So there's going to be a ton of traffic everywhere. Let's see. Lonnie says, yeah, last night we're having problems with the MMO, and they kept pushing updates up 10 gigabytes. Oh my God. That's a lot, 10 gigabytes. It was great to see download speeds over 300 megabits. Yeah. I got, in my last test, in my last video, I think I got it live. In the video, I think it was like a 314, somewhere around there, 314 megabits down. I haven't seen that since beta time. So, whatever they're doing over there, they're doing it right, okay? And I even said in my last video, I don't think that the throttling is happening. And if there is a throttle, it's a soft throttle on the download. Still a pretty hard, significant throttle on the upload, because we know it can handle 25, 30, 40 megabits up, but we're seeing stable 10 to 15 megabits up. That's straight throttling, period. That's just the way it is.
John Asselton, question. I love the necklaces. What are they? What do you have on?
I have the Futhark. These are runes. And
I have one of my native Indian arrowheads.
Yeah. Always something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone looked at mine. They said, can they like spin the wheel or something?
But I do wrap my own pieces. So I wire wrap my own.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Nobody else will have it.
No, that's exactly right. Let's see.
Ross Kincaid just got Starlink back in Washington State. Massive speed decrease.
Yeah, that's gonna be the case. Glad to be here. That's from Oak. Glad you're here. Yes. Love the channel. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Tommy Tagaruk. Hello from Alaska. We were out for a good 25 to 30 minutes. Everyone in the area.
Yep, I think that's happening everywhere. What else we have here? Western Montana, how are you doing?
Brazil.
Jason says, mine's currently down, and it says that it's updating. All right, that's Jason. Norman says 40 minutes in North Canada, West Coast. And then we have Luis.
In Brazil, too. It was worldwide.
Yep, it is worldwide. Yeah. Catherine says, down 30 minutes. App said, updating. All right, there you go. Just says, had an outage a little bit ago, maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Now it's back up. My account online says it's currently experiencing service outage. Yep, absolutely. Okay. Why wouldn't they send an alert?
SS220 Astro. Why wouldn't they send an alert through the app?
I love that.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Nobody knew anything.
I think that they didn't know that shit was going to hit the fan. I mean, to be honest, I really don't think so. Because if you're going to have a worldwide outage, you wouldn't do that. So what you would do...
And they're probably scrambling to get everything up. They're not worried about telling people that they're down.
Yeah, it's like DEFCON 1. It's like... It's just they, I'm sure, lost it running around crazy to figure it out. Yeah. Because if you were going to actually push out an update, you're going to do it like in a manner that there's not everyone down all over the place. You would kind of push it out little by little by little. Maybe over the course of a week, not over the course of a day. That's when you're really going to just tax the system. And I think that's what's going on with their servers in these POPs as well as the ground stations. I experienced a 35 minutes out. That's Oscar. Matthew says speed is slower than 46 megabits, but still better than my old provider of 16 megabits. Yes, 16 megabits. That's exactly what we were getting here with AT&T, 16 megabits down. and the up speed is like 1.5 megabits up. With our old provider, with AT&T, we still have them, just because, but we couldn't even do this show with the old provider. And this is literally the speed. I mean, 1.5 up is the speeds that we would see back in like the 90s. All right, you know, the early 2000s. I mean,
remember the commercials where you would like do the batter of the cake and then come back and you're still waiting for it to load?
Yeah, that's basically AT&T Uverse crap, complete utter garbage.
Question from Eric McMahon. When do you think SpaceX will launch their first batch of the large V2 satellites on Starship, or even the next batch of V2 minis? Didn't you talk about this?
Yeah, so the V2 minis, they just went up. There's 21 of them. Some of them already came back to Earth. They re-entered orbit and burned up, all right, because they were having problems. I said that it had something to do with the propulsion system. I also said that it could also have to do with software, but it wasn't too bad because they were going to launch another batch of version 2 minis up like the next week or so. So that's all good. Now, what we want to see is the full size V2s. And the only way to get that is you need Starship to launch. And I just heard today that Starship, the entire rocket, is sitting on the pad right now, ready to go. FAA, I think, is giving approval like for, I think, the 10th, between like the 10th and the 18th or something like that. I'm gonna guess we will see that rocket go off third week of April. And that will be the mega rocket, literally bigger than like the Saturn rocket that launched, you know, in '69 to the moon. I mean, it's a massive, the largest rocket ever launched. So yeah, Starship should be going
there to see that.
I would, yeah. Well, we can't. So it's going out. It's going out of Texas.
Of course. So if you're in Texas,
if you're in Texas, you should be able to see it. Or I would.
I know people that are in Texas.
Yeah, go see it. But yeah, that should be that is going to be a launch that will go down in history, once again, as the biggest rocket ever launched from this planet. And that is going to be the exact same system that is going to be used for lunar landing, as well as ferrying people from the lunar surface to Mars. I think it's I'm
going to call Elon, see if he can take you on a lunar landing, shoot you up on a rocket.
You really want to launch me to the moon?
Well, you're like the Starlink dude, so... As long as I can get video of it.
Well, as long as you get video, then we're okay with it.
Then we can share it to the masses.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So, but yeah, this rocket is amazing because the rocket is actually the first fully reusable rocket of that size. So the entire system, as it launches, as it breaks apart, will land where it needs to land, be refueled, fixed up, and then launched again. So the entire system is reusable, which is really good because that's the whole idea also for the moon. Because the whole they want to make a moon base, a lunar base, so they can bring the rocket to the moon, refuel it there, obviously, and then be able to go from the moon to Mars, or the moon to anywhere, because you now don't have to fight the gravitational pull that you have on Earth, right? So it's going to cost a lot less or expend a lot less fuel to be able to get off the moon and go to whatever planet they want to go to. So it's definitely interesting, very interesting. So this is going to be the first flight of it coming up, I would say, before the end of this month. Now, there's not going to be a payload. This is going to be a test flight, so there's not going to be any version 2. My thoughts are no version 2 satellites in there. But what's also interesting about this is they were saying that it can also be used for transit. So the farthest spot, like let's say if you were to go from Singapore, all right, to New York, it will take like 19 hours by flight.
Okay.
By this rocket, you would be able to go from New York to Singapore in like less than an hour. Wow. So they were they were talking about this as almost having the ability to have an upper section that will be, instead of cargo, people.
Right.
and be able to ferry them from literally one side of the world to the other side of the world in less than an hour.
That's crazy.
I mean, so you're literally launching them.
So technically you could go, see?
She still wants she wants to launch me. What an ass.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right. So, yeah.
Well, we have some other questions.
Yeah, let's go through.
Curtis Burke. Mine was out a couple of days ago, so I contacted Starlink. They sent me a message saying they are sending me a new dish. Do you think anything is going on, or would it be hardware issue?
No, that's going to be a couple of days ago. It's not going to be have anything to do with this. Chances are it probably has something to do with the dish or your wires. Is probably the problem. And they know the problem. That's why they're sending you out a whole new kit. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Edward Roos. Either that or Elon just came out with his cologne simply called a Musk. That's great.
I like it. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll buy some. What else we got here? GT Reggae Radio says down in Jamaica. Reggae Radio, GT Reggae Radio down in Jamaica. 30 minutes, also 30 minutes. So it's like everyone is just 30 minutes. So it definitely has to do with the update. Because what that is it's a 30-minute update.
Right.
Everyone is experiencing about the exact same time. Kevin says, I wish I had a cell service. T-Mobile, yeah. We did not have T-Mobile access here forever. And I was on the waiting list for that ever since Starlink. And even before Starlink. So it became available, and I said, you know what? Boom, snatched it up. They had it here in 2 days, and like I showed you in the video, yesterday's video, day before video, it's working, and it's working rather well. I'm very happy with that. What else do we have here? Down 27 minutes. Let's see what else we have. Interesting.
Everybody's
Starlink
just
app
talking
has
about
added a message to
outage
the root
service.
screen service outage. Our team is investigating and will resolve as soon as possible. Right, we keep bouncing in and out. Yeah, you're probably going to be bouncing in and out for a bit because as things kind of I guess mellow out, because it's a major outage, obviously. It's going to take a while to balance all out. So it's going to be a while. Like I said, don't do any testing tonight. Tonight is going to be, if you just got your TVs working, you got Starlink working, you can get online, fantastic. Yeah. Just leave it at that.
Nick Kuvishnov, sorry. Are you in Synology user? How do you back up your NS?
How do I back up the NAS? So Synology as well as
I'm so not the tech person.
Well, Synology and QNAP, what they are is like their backup NASs, or network attached storage. So like where all of our data will go inside a NAS, right? A lot of people buy Synology and they buy QNAP and they buy these solutions. Well, Synology and QNAP, they both, were hit with root attacks, and they were hit with 0-day attacks, whereas someone will get into your Synology or into your QNAP and then encrypt all your data, lock it down, and unless you pay them, you can't get your data back.
Oh, those are those people.
Gotcha. So I don't use those. I built my own NAS. As a matter of fact, the book back there, you see how to create a digital Fort Knox, backing up your digital life. I wrote that book based on me building an unraid server for that solution. So I literally wrote the book while I was going through the entire process of building it. And it is by far the best thing I've ever done. I built it out of parts that are like over a decade old, probably 10, 12 years old, that had been sitting in a garage in
like
the humidity.
Transformer.
Yeah. So I built it. It works flawlessly. It's been running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for about a year and a half now, almost 2 years now. No issues at all. So yeah, that's what I use for my NAS. Let me see. Kirill Katana, thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate that. Thank you. Any of those super chats are always welcome. Thank you. That's awesome. Let's see what else we have here. Ken was down 28. Wow. Ken's getting 28 meg upload, maybe They're uploading SID twice better than last. So that's really, really good, Ken. A lot of people are experiencing extremely fast speeds the last couple of weeks. And in my last video, you can see mine. I mean, I'm getting over 200 megs down, and we were only getting like 90 to 130. So I'm very, very pleased with it. I wish upload speeds were a little bit better, but I understand why they're not. What else?
I'm trying to go back up because it's scrolling really fast.
Well, we got like about 100, I think it was like 140, 150 of you guys online. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Once again, put a Q before any questions you have so it's easy for us to kind of cue into it. What else we have here? Dan.
I'm trying to go back to...
In 2030, there was an update. All right, so at 2030, there was an update. Starlink, 20 minutes down. Yeah.
Okay,
there's
we were
a question here.
William Bobreg, do I get a credit on my bill for 26 minutes being down? Yeah, not.
William, you're not going to get a credit. And if you ask them for a credit, they'll give you like a copy paste response, and that's basically it. I wish Starlink will finally get a call center together. I mean, not having a call center and having to go through hoops to contact.
You're the call center.
I'm the call. We still don't have damn shirts. That's your fault.
It's not my fault. It's just that nobody makes anything.
But everyone wanted like a shirt. Like
I know, but
Starlink
I don't. No, because
customer service.
Right, but I don't want people to have a cheesy
technical support.
Yeah, but I don't want anybody to have a cheesy shirt.
All right.
And then you put it in the washer and it's like this when you come out.
Yeah, or like it's twisted, or the arm is like the other.
Or like your emblem is like sitting here. Yeah, it's not a good look.
All right, well we got to
I'm
find
picky.
those. I want to wear one.
Okay.
Like when we're doing this, I want the
I'm
Starlink
looking.
tech support.
Yeah.
If you guys only knew how many questions I've answered over the last 340 videos I put together for Starlink.
You are tech support, really, for real.
It is a lot, and the amount that I get in email is just, and I answer every one of them, but some of them, I mean, just so you guys know, like if you send me a question, I'm going to answer it. Okay, if you
it may take a little bit.
Yeah, if you put a comment, on a video, I'm going to read it. I might not answer all of them, but I'm going to read it. But all those emails I answer, and just do me a favor, if you're going to write like a question and send it through email, like not this
short and pithy,
like this, right? Because some of them are just so long-winded that I just can't.
That's because people are trying to explain what their situation is.
Yeah,
I mean, I am so not a techie person, so I'd be probably
so just
rambling
so you guys
on.
know, what I've been doing lately is if anyone needs like literally consultation for this, since I have literally used, I count probably a dozen different routers and all sorts of different gear when it comes to Starlink, building mesh networks for it and all kinds of other stuff. I am doing like consultations. I have to charge for it because it takes a ton of time to do it, but I've been doing that lately, and if you need, sometimes people are like, all right, I have a church and I need to do this, and we need to get this many people. Yeah, I was
gonna say it's like more extensive stuff though.
Yeah,
I
have a farm and I need to have Wi-Fi over 10 acres, and how do I do it, and how can I build the mesh networks, and do I need to do this, and how many PoE injectors do I need, and all this stuff. I can go all through all of it, but like I said, it would have to be on a consultation type basis. It's so extensive. So if you need anything, once again, send me over. If you go to JCristina.com and just go to contact, in the contact page, you can write to me there.
Yeah. Bill Thompson, we are less than 5 MPS after 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Down.
So Bill, like I said, hang in there. The speeds are going to be slow for the rest of the night. What is Clinton says, caused by expired ground station.
Well, that's
cert.
What Elon had said.
Yeah, expired ground station cert. We're scrubbing the system for.
It posted it 3 times.
Single point vulnerability. That is it's a very odd statement. Very odd statement. But okay. We'll figure that out probably in the next couple of days, what actually did happen. Andre says, Diaz says the funny thing is down still. 135 megabits and 320 megabits. Upload, by the way, 35 to 54 megabits. Portugal after 45 minutes with no service. You see, a lot of people that are on that are overseas are getting better internet speeds than we do here in the U.S.
Why?
I think it just has to do with the number of people, just congestion. How many people actually have the, Starlink in Portugal, for example? I don't know. Or in your location? I don't know. But a lot of that has to do with that, where it just has to do with congestion. So if you guys don't know, the amount of time that it takes for signal to go from your dish, which I call Mr. Bevel, your little dishy, to low Earth orbit, which is at 550 kilometers up in space, and back down, is only about, now this is from like an engineer that told me, it's only about like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds max. Let's call it 3 seconds, okay? So, or not seconds, 3 milliseconds. So what that means is when you see latency of 35 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds, 50 milliseconds, all of that latency is happening terrestrial. Not non-terrestrial, not up in the air. It's happening on the ground. So between you and the point of presence, the POP, and the ground stations filtering stuff back and forth is where all of this latency is coming. It's not connecting with those low, extremely low Earth orbiting satellites. So keep that in mind. Some people didn't know that. They thought that all the latency is because the satellites. No. If you see a lot of latency with companies like Viasat and HughesNet, the reason that is, besides it's crap, it's because they're at thousands of kilometers in space. So
I thought it was because the
difference.
UFO was going to come through and block the satellites, and then we're not going to get the signal.
Could be.
It could happen.
I wouldn't doubt it today. Now that we have like UFOs or like people, the government's like, yeah, UFOs
saying,
exist.
It could happen.
For how many years it was like, oh
it could
no,
happen.
There's no UFOs.
It might miss the next satellite because,
Yeah,
one flew by and
Yeah.
messed us all up down here. Couldn't get
it.
on YouTube.
Krill says, Katana says, certs suck. Yep, absolutely. It's been over 40 minutes. Scott says, Tom says, Dan, lots in the area. All right, he's talking over there. Dan, SoCal. Yeah. What else we have? Per Elon, it says, sorry, slight glitch, right? SpaceX is coming back online now. Katana says, as a computer guy, we went through cert issues a couple of weeks ago. Oh, there you go. So the certificates is it. It is it. Interesting, very interesting. Mitch says we went down South Point, Ohio, but they're back up now. That's awesome. Let's see. Edward says, Elon says they're scrubbing the system. Yes. Justice says,
I've been waiting on the wait list since July of 2021. Finally, just a bit at the bullet and paid for the best effort. Once I got it up and running, it says residential in my account.
Smart. I've told you guys this, and this is a perfect example. Thank you so much for that, Justice C. Bigler, I guess. So thank you for that, because that is just proof of what I've told you guys. If you want Starlink and in your area you are under a waiting list, get best effort if you can, because SpaceX will automatically upgrade you to residential from best effort as soon as it is available. You do not lose your place in line. So get best effort if you can. Awesome.
Jose Perez, Tijuana, Mexico, 30-minute outage, Starlink homepage not working.
Jeez, homepage not working.
Yeah, DG, love what you are all doing for Starlink community.
Thank you, DG. Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Tommy Tagarut, caused by expired ground cert station. We've been talking about that.
Let's see. Back in Quebec.
Yeah, 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes up. There you go. Fantastic. William says, when it said offline, I ran outside to make sure it wasn't stolen.
Yes.
Could you imagine?
It's okay. Joe was running outside like 3 times to make sure that there were no obstructions. Because didn't it say that there was something in the way?
Obstruction and this. I'm like, what?
And then I was thinking maybe it was El Bandito, the raccoon.
Did you guys see? Did you post that?
I did on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if people saw it.
If you guys don't follow Instagram, go check me out over on Instagram. It's JCristina. Is that what it's at? All right. So go check that out. I was literally talking to this raccoon over by our...
He's not supposed to make friends with the coons, and then he does. And then it runs up the tree, turns around, pops his head, and stares at him. And this one keeps going on. I'm like, what are you doing?
We had a conversation.
He's trying to eat our chickens.
I know. So the raccoon wants to eat the chicken, but we built the chicken coop very well. It is pretty
but
secure.
he took pieces off the wood because he's
It's
trying to get
literally
in.
eating through the damn chicken coop. I had to put more mesh up so it would stop eating the damn wood.
Yeah.
So he's looking at me. He's staring me
So
down.
I'm like, don't be friends. Like, he's not your friend right now. He's got to go. He's got to move.
Is so cute, you know.
Yeah,
He's
until
got, like,
he gets the
got, like,
kitchen.
you
El
know,
Bandito.
El Bandito.
I named him. That's his name. And today he was in the back porch again and peeked around the corner staring at you.
Yeah.
He's watching you.
He's watching. Yeah.
So anyways, you were making sure that there's no obstruction and the raccoon wasn't up there.
Yeah, someone would like ate the cables or something. I'm like, what the hell is going on now? You know what I originally thought? I thought that it was my Ethernet cable went bad because I've been talking about that for a while, how the Ethernet cables have been going bad. And then also the Ethernet dongle, those dongles go bad sometimes. I have a couple. I took one apart. Matter of fact, if you go back in that Starlink playlist, you'll see me actually take apart one of the SpaceX dongles to see what makes it tick. And I showed you guys why the thing was going bad. So I got nothing better to do with my life. So yeah, I took it apart. But anyways, yes, that's what I thought was a problem. But obviously that wasn't it. Let's see. I just
a lot of people said they were just offline. They weren't sure. It took time, and short.
Yeah,
I guess short C.
Or no, it's Shift Control C. There you go.
Okay. I just raised my dish, and 45 minutes later, my wife is saying, "What did you do wrong?" That would be me.
Yeah, exactly. I immediately got phone calls from inside saying, "Hey, we have no TV. TV's down.
Fix it.
There's no internet. There's can't get on here." Yeah, I get it.
It's not fun.
It's funny though how we are today, right? If the internet goes down for like a split second, we're like, oh my god, what is going? What are we gonna do? Oh my god, start panicking, right?
But like you make it dramatic. It is dramatic because it's not like back in the day if like the cable when I was just the TV. Now it's like the phone, the TV, everything. So you're just sitting there like, what?
Exactly. Like, what the hell is going on? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's not fun.
Let me see. Len says, greetings from Tampa, Florida. Could be worse. You could be Nomad customer. Yes. People have asked me about Nomad, and I did research on it. And, everything that I researched on Nomad was negative. And I'm not going to talk about the company because, they might reach out to me and say, test out the system. Will I test it out? Yeah, I will. But I feel like every one of the videos that I found that talked about the Nomad system for people that are, boondocking or people that are in rural areas that need signal, it's like every one of the videos feels and looks and appears like shills are producing these videos. They are so positive, and it's like, oh my god, nothing is that positive, right? So I mean, right?
Why do you say it like that?
Because it's true. What the hell? No, all right.
That's a good thing.
So guys, I'm a fan of Starlink. I'm a fan of Elon, right? But I'm not a fanboy. So if something goes to crap, I'm going to tell you guys, and I hope that you appreciate that.
And it went to crap.
Went to crap. And if it wasn't for T-Mobile, we wouldn't have went live when we did. T-Mobile kind of saved,
it was a 30-minute process for us.
Yeah, so we were live and we were still down. And then T-Mobile, and now they're bonded together. Let me just check. Yep, we're still seeing bonding between T-Mobile and Starlink. So we're getting data going in both directions. So it's working.
CJ Long said, we finished cooking burgers, was going to listen to some music, no signal. Get into my meal and the kitchen sink decides to leak. Oh, happy time, CJ. Aren't you glad it's Friday though? I hope you got it fixed.
That's like you just the other day. You have a tire going down. We bring it in. The tires are brand new. Of course, that's how it happens, right? Brand new tires, no more than 2 months old.
He acts like if I did it on purpose. Like if I saw the screw in the road and just aimed for it and just drove right into it.
Instead of her running down the screw down the center where they can actually plug it, the guy's like, Yeah, I just want to tell you that, do you see the tire pattern here? Well, the screw is on the outside of that tire pattern. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Can you put a plug in it? He's like, well, being that it's this number of centimeters from the side, that means that we are not allowed to plug that tire. It's illegal for me to fix it. I'm like, what the frick are you going to do then?
It's baloney. Because back in the day, we would just put a plug in it, and it was fine, and it worked forever.
Like, no, we can't do that. I'm like, so can you patch it from the inside? Well, due to the location of the nail, no, we can't. I'm like, so what are you going to do? Well, did you get the road hazard assistant package, road hazard?
For $1 million trillion?
I'm like, I don't know. Look it up. He looks it up. He's like, I'm sorry, but you didn't get that, sir. You didn't get it. So now what?
That's because you're cheap sometimes.
$200. See? That's what. I had to put a no damn tire on the thing.
Not my fault.
You did it. You ran over it on the side.
I didn't look for it. Was there.
Look for the shiny things in the road.
Don't even go there because you have something going on with your tire. So we're going to go back to Starlink with his tire and my tire and someone else's tire.
Let me see. Chet Hastings said, thank you, Chet, for the super chat, for the contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is awesome. What does he say here? He says, I've heard since the outage there is an update that's being pushed through the users to indicate, and it says, I haven't seen anything on the app for an update. Any information? Love your channel. Thank you so much, Chet. Really do appreciate that. As of right now, what everyone is saying so far is that Elon and SpaceX is saying that it was a certificate that was an issue on the ground stations, and most likely they probably installed the new certs on all of the POPs in the ground stations, the new certificate, and then they probably had to go and push an update through the entire lot of 1 million Starlink dishes because they screwed up. I mean, these certificates usually last for like a year or 2 years, whatever it is. Who didn't keep track of when the certificates were going to expire? I don't know. But that person is definitely fired. So that's what I think. What else do we have over here? Jason says, my backup is AT&T LTE card. It is unlimited tablet plan that is attached to my phone, and it's $20 per month. And the card is from, who's this? Telefonica? I don't know. LTE modem. I live, let me see here. I live a bit from a tower, but I'm getting 20 down. Okay, so what he's using, Jason's using, is one of those. I showed you guys in the last video. I have it over there. I mean, I can get it. Anyways, it's like, it looks like an antenna, most likely. It's like a combination of like a router gateway type of thing. It's an antenna, and then you direct it to your, wherever the closest cell tower is, and then you'll get service. So I'm not going to use that, and the reason being is he's getting unlimited through that laptop or through that tablet. Mine is not unlimited, so you have to pay for the data. We don't want to use that. Right. The T-Mobile is 100% free, quote unquote free data. In other words, it's unlimited. It's $50 a month. But if you have a T-Mobile phone with T-Mobile, you get $20 off. So now all of a sudden, instead of $50 a month, it's $30 a month. But wait.
There's more.
If you go to an auto pay, they give you another $5 off. So literally for unlimited access to the internet through T-Mobile, through their gateway, it's freaking $25 a month. I mean, if that's not unbelievable, I mean, think about that. Unbelievable.
I can't.
That's pretty amazing. I'm going to work for T-Mobile.
You should work for everybody then.
God,
I'm going to have to make multiple shirts.
Yeah. Let me see Q. There's a Q there from Michelle.
Michelle wanted to know like why Starlink was down, and we've been talking about.
Yeah. So if you're new, if you just got here, basically there was a certificate that went south, and bottom line is they fixed it. They did an update through the entire world, and now it's up.
And William Rifey wanted to know, what is bonding?
Okay, so bonding. I was talking to you guys about how I'm using T-Mobile and I'm using Starlink now. And I've tried about 10 different routers. If you haven't seen all of those tests, check out my Starlink playlist, okay? I've tested a lot of them. So You can do it. So like, for example, if you were to use like a PEP link, I'm currently testing a 20X. That's not what I'm using for the bonding, but they will also do they'll also do bonding. What that means is you take 2 internet connections and it puts them together. And when it puts it together, it can put them together in such a way that it can do a load balance between the 2, or it can do a failover, meaning that when one goes down, the other one picks up where the other one left off. Now, it gets deeper than that. I'm not going to go into it tonight, but it goes down to sessions and tunnels and packets and why that is important. Not going to tell you now. And once again, I'm on an NDA as far as what I'm using.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. It is very interesting. Okay. And like I said,
it's better than a t-shirt.
Yeah. It is. So anyways, once again, this is a test stream that's going on. If you see any hiccups, let me know in the comments, in the chat, what time they happened and what happened and for how long. Okay. Very, very important.
Howard Fine, had to kick on my secondary internet, good old MOFI cell modem.
That's it. That's it. You have to have a backup for everything today. To the world that we live in today, you need to have a backup of everything.
Yeah, right? Backup of the backup. I'm old school. I keep backups in a notebook.
We're not preppers, right? We're not like preppers. We do live on 5 acres, okay?
I think we should prep more than we do, but yeah.
We do have a chicken coop. We do store excess food. There's certain things that we do. We have safety devices at home, right, for security.
But also not because, some people say, oh, you're like crazy like that. Not necessarily. It's because where we live, like we are out further than most people, to get to so over the last 23 years to get closer to things have been coming closer to us, but we're so used to being at least 25 minutes out from stuff. And in case of an emergency or anything, like we have our own well water. So like, that's all on us. If something breaks, if something happens, you really can't expect the police or the firemen or whatever to be here in 5 to 10 minutes. It might take 18 to 20 minutes.
So we need to be
self-sufficient.
Be self-sufficient. Exactly. I'm on this channel. I'm going to explore backup power. I'm going to explore solar. I'm going to explore a lot more on mesh networks. I'm going to explore more on T-Mobile. I'm going to explore also a lot of what's is really important is that bonding that we're talking about.
Which kind of it translates also to people that are, traveling, like the RVers and stuff.
Right.
They have to be self-sufficient too. They,
Exactly.
It's not like they're going to be able to just call someone and say, hey, can you come wherever I am,
Yeah, absolutely.
So
let's jump into this next
Sylvia
one.
Cantu, she was asking about the bonding again.
Mike says, I'm outside about an hour ago and it was down in Texas. There you go. Let me see. What's the next one? Starlink version change. Is everyone on? And then he gave a big long number.
Right.
So chances are, yes, there probably was and that was from Gravelden, I guess. Gravelden. There probably was a change. I'm going to do some research on it probably tonight or tomorrow, and then I'll probably report back on that. But there must have been a big change.
Dan
let's see.
Tipsword.
Lonnie says correct.
It's
been very stable for the last 2 years. Early beta, we're cycling power once in a week. Yes, absolutely. Cycling power is good. So if you are on Starlink or if you're on T-Mobile or you're on any other of these systems, cycle your power once a week, every other week, cycle the power, because that will allow it to download the latest firmware. It will then refresh things. You'll end up with faster service, a lot of other benefits to doing so. If you are, perfect example, I did a video 2 videos ago, and I was telling you guys that if you are on best effort, sometimes SpaceX will move you to residential. And if they do, at that point, you can reboot your system, power cycle it, and now all of a sudden you're going to get a hell of a lot faster speeds. Whereas if you just leave it there, it's going to take a little while. Now, I just saw a little twirly going on.
Yeah, it's been doing that a little bit here and there.
We're probably, I don't know if we're losing signal here and there. If you guys are seeing signal loss, any kind of pausing, let me know. Let's get on to the next one.
Question, Tan Tips Word. Does the fishing in Bristol Bay have a good Starlink setup?
That's a good question. No clue.
No idea.
No idea. Finally back.
In
Finally back in
Texas.
Texas. All right. Had the Verizon. There you go. That's fine. Verizon home internet is also really, really good. My firewall failed over. My local DSL during the outage, everything started chugging. Yes, absolutely. You fail over to local DSL and you're used to Starlink, you'll see how slow DSL is. Only getting 80 megabits. Yes. Len says we'll be outside. Proxcast antenna really helped the buffering and reboot. T-Mobile home, yes, daily. That's good. Definitely reboot. Rebooting is always good. I like to do a reboot at like 3 a.m., right? Schedule it. Another thing that you can do is get a, what is really kind of cool, and I've done this in the past, I have a digital wall jack, right? Like a power plug that you can actually set times of day when it to go off and when it to go on and whatnot. So what's really cool is you can set it so that, let's say 3 a.m., it shuts down. And then at 3:15, it turns back on. So then it goes and does its reboot and everything. And now when you get back in the morning, everything is copacetic. And you can set it for like on Saturdays or on Sundays. Yeah. So that is really good. And that's all you have to do is you plug this thing into this jack, into the wall. And now you can control it right from there and just tell it when to turn on, when to turn off. So that's a great way of doing it. Yeah. And you don't have to think about doing it that way. Let's see. I'm still running at 10 megabits. Yeah, everything's going to be slow, guys. It's going to be slow. Once again, put Q, as Peter says, put Q before your questions so that we know to kind of hone in onto them.
Yeah, Peter, life and death. Yep. You're bonding two-way, very different packet streams. I'm wondering if an old-fashioned dedicated NIC card would stitch them together faster, the way server class NIC cards used to, and boost throughput.
Yes. I mean, yeah, you can have multi-NIC in a computer, turn the NIC into a really good failover redundant type of thing. There's a lot of things you can do, but what I'm exploring is stuff that's very easy for the non-technical people. I'm a system administrator, so putting together something like that is not a big deal. But I've always done on this channel things that like lay folk can do, that it's really easy. That she can do, make it super simple. So that's why the bonding that I'm looking at right now is stupid simple. And if it works, I'm not calling you stupid, but the bonding is stupid simple, and everyone should be able to use it. We'll see. Anyways, that we'll talk about that when the time comes. Let's see, what else do we have here? 15 down, 40.45 up. Eek. That is horrible.
Question.
Tim, that's horrible. Question. I'm having a new roof put on and will need to remove the dish. What is the best practice? Do I stow it? Okay, so if you need to remove the dish, what you need to do is stow it first, just like you said. Absolutely, stow it. What that does is now, if the dish is sitting like this, it will put the dish in a locked position so it can't move anymore. And then when you remove it and you go and put it to the new location, you will unstow it and it will now recalibrate itself and point to where it needs to point. If you don't stow it and you manhandle it, like me with these big mitts, right? You'll go and break those little plastic gears in there. You'll break the motor by just kind of moving it around. Don't do that. Stow it first before you move the dish. What else?
Jason Tate, all ISPs go down from time to time. I wouldn't count this against Starlink's stability. No, absolutely not. Absolutely. Tommy Tagaruk, everyone in my area got Starlink, got to be 50 around my area.
Yes, yes. So if obviously there's a lot of people here that are for Starlink. Now remember, this is a video as well as photo channel, Starlink and tech. So if there's any other questions that you have that have to do with video, photo, or just basic tech, stick them in there also. Yeah. Right now, obviously, it's a big Starlink night because the whole thing went to shit, and we have to talk about it because we were panicking, running around here, trying to get something to work. Yeah. So I'm glad that it is working.
Chaplain Stephen, we have consumer cellular but have to use VoIP. What system does it run on?
So VoIP, which is voice over IP, you should be able to do voice over IP with just about any system today, as long as you can get your internet to your router. I mean, you should be able to VoIP out of that without any kind of problem. There is some older style, VoIP setups that require a static IP. If you need a static IP, you can't get one through SpaceX Starlink because Starlink doesn't provide it. Starlink uses what is called CGNAT, which is carrier grade network. Anyways, the bottom line is CGNAT only provides you with an IP address, and that IP address many people have. So it will take one IP address and then give it to, let's say, 50 people. It's almost like this. If you have an apartment building, right, and your postman delivers to the lower floor, which is your mail room, at, let's say, 2000 East Main, all of the mail goes to 2000 East Main, and then the person there in the mailroom takes it to your floor, which is floor 5, let's say room 6. So that is the exact same thing as CGNAT. All the mail, all the packets go to that mailroom, and then at the mailroom it has to go to the other 50 people that have the same IP address. Is that an easy way to look at it? I hope so.
I think so.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
But that's how CGNAT works, and that's why some things don't work as well if you don't have a static IP. If you need a static IP, in all of my videos for the last 3 months, there is PureVPN. They actually provide a static IP for $2-3 a month or something. You can take a look at that. That's one way to get a static IP. So there's other ways, and I'm going to be talking to you about that probably in the next week or so. What else we got?
Red
Q,
means...
I'm sure that you already had a question, but I was thinking that Starlink will be a bit gigahertz. Will it be a gigahertz system? Now, this is who H Tags asked about gigahertz. So Elon Musk originally said that he was going to create this thing to be a gig system, meaning that right now we have, let's say, 200 meg down.
Right.
That a gig system would be 1,000 meg, right? So 1,000 meg down. Will it be bidirectional? It won't. There's no way they're going to get 1,000 meg up. Those dish would end up smoking, okay? You wouldn't even want to be near it through the radiations. They're just not going to happen, right? So single direction, gig down, I think that he can do it, all right? Especially with the new version 5. Satellites that are out there, they're going to be communicating through, I think it's ISL, I think it is, inter-satellite laser or inter-satellite link. That's going to speed everything up. So that's going to happen too.
Okay.
What else do we have
question
here?
Is Michelle.
Oh, here we go. Michelle says what?
Is anyone else having problem with the dish saying it's heating after it came back? You've talked about this before too.
Interesting. No.
But heating up
anyone that's listening, see if you can answer Michelle here. Are any
Michelle
of you,
3?
Michelle 3 asks, is anyone having this problem where it's actually saying that the dish says that it's heating after it came back online? Now, if it's doing that, the first thing that I would do is go into your app, all right? Go into your Starlink app, then go down to your heating area and make sure that that's set to auto, all right? Maybe you have it set to on, or maybe somehow it just accidentally was set to on in the reboot. Something weird happened. If you're in an area that doesn't get cold, like I am in Florida, we never need it to be on ever. Turn it off. Just set it to off, and then it can never come on.
So we have a couple of people that are saying currently down in California, speed's not great. In Albuquerque, in Mexico, it's off. But then we have someone, I just saw it, Tips word. My system said it was heating, and I don't know why.
You see, this is okay, guys. So this is multiple people saying that it's heating up. Let me go. I'm going to check out mine. You can read in there any other question. I'm going to check also if it's saying anything about this heating.
Jeff Mager, I was down for over 30 minutes. Now it's saying downloading update NW Oregon. Ken Mason, 28 upload. Maybe they're updating the system 2 times better than last week.
It is definitely better, guys. It is definitely better. Let's see. I am not. Let me see. It's gathering information, so that's fine. Network is good. Obstructions. Let's see. Nothing here. Let me go into statistics. I want to see if there's anything in here at all for heating. I am not getting anything for heating. Okay. But that being said, that doesn't mean that You're not.
Right.
And there could be something going on with that. So let me go and see. Yes.
Tim said my system is still updating and heating 15 minutes after back online.
So I'm checking right now. Mine is currently set to automatic. I had it set for off. The heating element is set for auto. So what that means is it must have did a factory reboot. So, but it couldn't have done a factory reboot because it still has the same SSID. So I don't know what that is.
Well, Andre Diaz here said, I received an alert on Starlink app. Like, we have some technical issues. Our team is working hard to solve the issue.
Well, at least you got that. I didn't get nothing.
We're having a little bit of a hiccup
Guys,
there.
let us know if we glitch at all. Let us know, and at what time we glitch. I need to know. Definitely put it into the chat window. So as of right now, no heating issue, but go into your app, and if your heating is currently set to on or set to auto, just switch it to off, period. That'll kind of solve that.
Okay.
Andre Diaz says,
Ed Poplet. No, I already
okay,
read
got
that
that.
one. What is the site that shows where the Starlink satellites are?
Okay, guys, so Starlink satellites, if you go to, let me see if I can bring this up here. Bear with me. I'm going to have to bring this over to here. I'm going to show you where it is so that you guys can go there yourselves. That goes like this. So what he asks is, where can he go to see where all the Starlink satellites are? Okay, so if you guys go to starlink.sx, once again, starlink.sx, all right?
Okay.
You see it says starting simulation? So this is what happens. As you can see here, I'm in Florida, all right? And you see there's like a green dot down here. This is where it's guesstimating where I am. It's within about probably like 30 miles. It's pretty close. But anyway, so this is where I'm located. Now, if you look right here, this little yellow thing here that says Punta Gorda, that is my ground station. There's another ground station right down here. We can see it right here in Fort Lauderdale. And then there's another ground station up here in Daytona Beach, which is
De Leon Springs.
Oh, well, but it's Daytona's right outside.
Okay.
So yeah, it's De Leon Springs, Florida. Now, those are the ground stations, okay? Now, do you see these green dots? And then we have blue dots. The blue dots are the version 1.0 satellites. The green dots are the version 1.5 satellites. These green dots are the ones that actually have the lasers built in. Now, do you see this yellow dot over here? Let me go and hover over this thing. Do you see this right here? And it's speeding by pretty fast. That is currently out of service. It's not connecting with anything. It's kind of coming by, and that's it. Now, let me back up a little bit, and you'll be able to see this area. Now, my dish is pointing to the northeast over the ocean. So this green area is where me, right here, is picking up satellites. So as these satellites come in and out, you can see which ones we're using.
This is just a lot of connected dots.
It's a lot of connected dots. Now, do you see down here, there's this triangle? It says it's a 2 on it. This is my Miami POP, or point of presence. Now, whenever you hear me say POP, this is a POP. The POP that I'm using has a number 1 on it. It's out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this is why I always complain, guys, that why am I here down with the green dot? Why am I using Atlanta instead of using Miami? And this is one of the things that I complain about. And now you can see it in black and white why I complain about it. So anyways, that's where you need to go. You go to starlink.sx. Starlink.sx. Anyways, let's go back into the questions here. Hopefully you guys get some value out of that, and you can go and check that out. They say that it's a simulation. It's pretty damn accurate, guys. It's very accurate. All right, here you go. You can use this. Let's see what else we have here. Peter says, I can remember 56K modem back in the day.
Yeah.
Peter, I used to run a BBS. And if anyone's been around for a while, you know what a bulletin board service is. And I originally started running them on 1200 baud modems. I went to the 28.8s, 28, and then finally 56K. And I had about, I think it was like 8 or 10 of them. I had one of the first bulletin boards down in South Florida. And this was back in the early 80s. And that bulletin board was run, I'm a damn nerd. The bulletin board was run on a Apple II Plus with numerous modems. That just shows you how long I've been doing this crap.
It's a long time.
Right?
No, seriously, it's a long time.
It is a long damn time, right? Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I remember 56 baud, 56K. Anyways, Katana, again, thank you so much for the donation. I do appreciate it. We appreciate that.
Yes.
All those super chats are so appreciated. That's wonderful.
Ed Poplet, what is that
site?
say?
Rubicon over there says Starship currently scheduled for the 17th.
Wait, I missed that.
Wow. So yeah, I said, what was it, the third week? So yeah, that's going to be like the third week. So yeah, the guess is right. Hopefully it does go off on the 17th. That would be great.
Okay. Ed Poplet, we just talked about this. The sites that show where the Starlink satellites are is starlink.sx.
Yeah, starlink.sx. Buffering, not sure if it's me. So, I mean, it could be you, it could be us, but yeah, I'm glad. Once again, if you're getting any buffering, let us know. Mm-hmm. Also, let us know. Gordon says 1200 baud. Yeah, that's where I started, 1200 baud. Actually, I started with a 300 baud modem, but we don't need to go that far. Let's see. The FAA dates were changed from the 17th to the 23rd. Thank you for that information. Yeah. So the FAA obviously has been the crux. That's the problem. They've been stalling him for quite some time. They start going into all kinds of craziness. The last time I heard, a lot of it had to do also not just the FAA and what's going on, but also with environmental issues. So, I don't know. Maybe it's environmental. I don't know. But so according to, let me see, Gravlodon, right? What is it? Gravlodon?
Gravlodon.
Yes, he says it's pushed back from April 17th to April 23rd. So we'll take a look at that also and verify all this probably in the next video.
Ian Muddy had said at the time, is it us buffering or I got Comcast?
Yeah, so it could be us. It could be.
Yeah, I think it was us. We were buffering a little bit.
Yeah, let me bring this up so I can see if something buffers too. I mean, right now the connection shows solid, but we don't know. It's saying streaming redundant.
Michelle 3 has a question. Is others having their Starlink in heating mode after it came back, even though it's warm outside?
Yeah, that it should not be. Once again.
See, look.
Yeah. That's from before because we were backed up.
Gotcha.
It's behind by a bit. Okay. So yeah, we if you do see it saying that it's heating, just go into the app and turn the heater off. Just so you guys know, there's no heater in the unit. They say that it's heating. It's not a heater. What it is it's basically sending more amps and more load, basically more watts to the modem, to the dish. And that's what's heating it up. There's no like a heating ring in there or something like that. Okay. So yeah, you don't want that to happen because you're going to burn the thing out. So especially if you're in a warm area, just turn it off. If it's not cold, turn that heater off. I'm going to do the same thing with mine as soon as I'm done here. What else?
Hold on. I have to scroll back.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. There's a bunch.
Yeah.
I'm so glad everyone is with us tonight. I mean, there's a lot of you.
Already?
Yeah. No, come down. Yeah, we did all that.
No, we did not.
Yeah. I remember that.
No.
You don't go down. Remember this came through? That was like a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah. Go down. All right. So what do we have here? So right around here, I remember I didn't go right around here yet.
We were on Michelle's.
Let me just go up here. Manager says currently, it says my current device version is 2023, It says 2023 11.0. I'll have to check what mine is. And then it says version 2023.12.0. I checked T-Mobile Home thing, and it's not available in my location. T-Mobile Home is very hard to get. You have to have a 5G signal where you are. If not, they won't give it to you. They use T-Mobile used to have like an LTE version, and I'm not sure if they do anymore. So you can check into that too. Starlink is so much better than HughesNet. HughesNet is garbage, just like Viasat. After 2 days, I'm getting rid of HughesNet. Downloaded protocols. Hold on, wait. Let's see, plugged in updates, blah, 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 dates. Yeah, just HughesNet has always been horrible, absolutely horrible.
No, see, we're all the way up here because we didn't even read any of this.
Yes, this came through. Chet, thank you so much for the donation. We just see this popping up here. Let me go down here and read this. For Chet. Chet said, I've heard since the outage there is an update that is being pushed through the users to initiate. Yes, that's exactly what's going on. I haven't seen anything on the app for an update, any information. Love the channel. Thank you so much once again for that Chat. Super chat. Really do appreciate it, Chet, for that. That's great. Yeah, the only update that we're seeing that people are saying that they are seeing there's a new version in their firmware or whatnot. So they're saying it's 2023 .0.12, I think. I'm going to check mine too to see what it is. Might as well just to see if we're getting the exact same thing that you guys are. Which it should be. I'm going to guess it's going to be the same. You find out where we left off? All right, good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Abstraction speed settings, support. All right, good. Let's see. Let me see what the statistics look like. Yeah, so, yeah, this is what, let me just, while you're looking over there, I'm going to do a top down on here. This is what mine looks like. There you go. So we had this outage at, it started at 8:17 and we were supposed to go live at 8:30. So you imagine I was panicking. So 8:17, it goes down, searching at 8:18 for 28 minutes and 31 seconds. And then finally searches for another 21 seconds. It gets a signal. And then at 8:47, it says possibly obstructed. That's when I ran outside to see if it was the
the coon.
See if it was the coon that was doing it. But anyways, that's what we're seeing, and that's why we were down exactly that 30 minutes. I mean, that's that's what everyone is seeing, the exact same thing.
Eric McMahon had asked because we're like a little behind on the questions, so apologize for that. JCristina, do you think Elon Musk will start his own satellite TV company and cell phone company when he gets more satellites in the air due to satellite direct-to-phone connectivity?
I think he'll probably make a phone before he does a TV. Stay right there where we are. So he'll probably just make, okay, so there's no reason to have a TV company anymore. Dish Network and DirecTV will probably be out of business within 5 years unless they go down the data means of, let's say, getting the signal out. Those geostationary satellites that you see, it's too expensive to service and all the rest of this stuff. I mean, just think about it. IPTV is it. Right? So if you get a signal from Starlink, for example, you could get anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You can go and get your Netflix, you can get YouTube TV, you can get anything, whatever. So to make a TV, and you don't need it anymore. That's all you need today is data. And the same thing with telephone companies. Telephone with phones, mobile, it's only data. That's it. All the rest they sell you. That's why everything is unlimited, because they can't sell that anymore. All right? You just need data and that's it. Anyways, next one. Once again, put a Q before your questions so they pop out.
And again, we're like a little delayed. So Andrea's question is it normal? Is currently 19 Celsius and my Starlink showing is heating? Yeah,
so everyone is showing this heating issue. Once again, if you see that your system is saying heating, go into your app, then go into the heating area and then turn it off. Do not allow it to keep heating. We don't want to see that, especially like for me, I'm in Florida. If I see this thing heating, I'm going to have to pause for a second and go and turn this thing off myself. But this is what you need to do. You need to turn. It's going to be under your settings. Let me go ahead and show you exactly where it is. Let me do this top down thing again. So you're going to go like here. You're going to have to log in to do the edit. You have Wi-Fi configuration, right? Wi-Fi configuration. Then you have snow melt. Right here under snow melt, you have off, auto, and on. Change this snow melt to off, people. You need to log in first. You need to log in first and then change it to snow melt off. Okay? Mm-hmm. Do that and you guys should be right as rain. Ed says, what is the site showing where the Starlink satellites are?
It was the space link.
Let me go click down
Starlink.
there. Let me type it in there.
Yeah.
So just click down there at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to type this in here. It's starlink.sx. I just stuck it into the chat so you guys can just click on it, make it nice and easy for you.
Ian Muddy.
I missed last week. Well,
we weren't here last week.
We missed last week. We weren't here.
So it's all good.
Yeah, we were in
We're back.
Texas? We were in Texas?
No.
Where the hell were we last week?
Sarasota.
We were in Sarasota.
We don't even know where we've been.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. Alan
Diego.
Banks. Elon definitely needs to put you on the payroll. That would be
Could
great.
you imagine if Elon would just stop by sometime? That would be great. That would be awesome. I mean, honestly, I've been providing technical support for SpaceX Starlink for the last year and like 3-4 months. So yeah, it would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't want a lot. Maybe just some recognition would be kind of cool. Maybe a thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, while he doesn't have any technical support as of right now, I mean, I get so many questions. If you guys just knew what my email looks like, you wouldn't even believe it. And remember, this channel is a tech, photo, and video channel. Yeah. Almost all of my videos have always been photo, and a lot of it has been Starlink as of late because there's so many people that want me to give them information, and I've went down this journey, and I'm just and contributing, trying to. A
lot of people are like, oh, you don't do photography, you don't do X, Y, and Z, and you do, but like right now, that's why we're all talking here, because there is no support and no one has information and people need help. And again, this is how you started your journey, by doing all this stuff.
Right.
So you decided to share it because your channel is not just photography, it's tech, it's everything that's happening now and this whole crazy world that we live in.
Absolutely.
So
we're gonna have to
CJ Long,
we are way behind.
CJ Long, Elon needs to double your salary. Happy Easter to everybody.
So if Elon doubles my salary, I'll make the exact same amount. 0. Let's see. You are very appreciated. Thank you. Yes. Diego says, I've been trying to use Starlink Roam for, let me see.
The latest 2 weeks.
For the last 2 weeks, and getting drops every 5 to 8 minutes.
Even
That's really
to
weird.
Watch this live.
You need to write in, Diego. That's a problem. You should not be getting this drop. Happy Easter, Ryan. Thank you so much for that.
Happy Easter to everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone. Q from Ed. Ed says, what are the sites that show the Starlink?
Oh, you just type that in.
Type that in. If you want that.
Yeah, you see how delayed that is?
Yeah, it is.
Oscar Chunag, with all these Starlink launches, how can we tell which will be going into certain orbit for different regions, because we have a lot of minor outages for all of Alaska at different times of the day?
We won't. So the satellites get launched, and then they slowly go from about, let's say, 300-400 kilometers up to operational height, which is 550 kilometers. And once they get to that height, they also go down whichever their trajectory is going to be, whichever is that pattern, and no one knows. That's in their software. So we really don't know until it's there.
Peter Matson. Peter, hope you make a video about NAS network online and offline local network, and maybe how to keep it secure online network and offline local network.
Yeah, so he's talking about, I did a piece about, I think it was like 2 videos ago, where there was a data breach with Western Digital. And a lot of people that have Western Digital NASs are getting kind of screwed. Okay, and this happened. This is not specific to Western Digital, and that's why I said it's with Synology too, with QNAP. They all end up getting hit with these breaches, and it's just a horrible thing. So that's why I built my own. So yeah, I'll speak about it definitely. That's what, like I said, that's why I wrote that book, How to Create a Digital Fort Knox, Backing Up Your Digital Life, making that NAS out of parts in the garage. So it's very important to back up everything and do it securely.
Other question, do you have a book on setting up a Starlink mesh network?
I am actually going to be working on just that. So keep that in mind. I am going to be putting together something for mesh and getting really down and detailed on how to do it. Because I've gotten so many questions for it. So I figure if I write a book, it'll be easier for me to be like, here's a PDF, or here, you go and get it. It'll tell you exactly. So yes, I'm going to work on that because a lot of you want to do a mesh properly. There's too many of you guys, and you know who you are, that have multiple routers in your house, and you have the same SSID name and the same number, right? Or the same password. So let's say the SSID is called Stinky and the password is, let's say, password. So now you go and you set up each router that way. So when you move across to the different areas of the house, you'll be able to pick up the signal. The problem with that is your signal has to die before it picks up the new signal, right? With a mesh network, that doesn't happen. You get equal signal everywhere, and it just constantly hands off the baton, so you always have great signal. So don't do that. Make a mesh, and I'll put something together. Next.
Voluptuous Body. Yes, finally a live stream. Whoop, whoop.
Yes. We're here. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Watch 100 says, but it said over 100 watching. Yeah, there's like currently, guys, I think there was like 150, 160 of you. 163 of you guys. Yeah, that's a bunch. Yep. That's awesome.
Yes, please show us some love. We'll take all the love.
That's right. Love is good. Come on, guys. Like the stream.
Peter, you are Starlink support. Yeah.
We're going to get those shirts. Starlink support. Got to get that.
Scott Helenan. JC, I got 543 down, 32 up using 5G from a cell phone tower.
Wow. See that? 543 down and 32 up with the cell phone tower. Yeah, so you're obviously on 5G. Congratulations. That is sweet.
Kamikaze, the aliens will save us.
The aliens will. We're going to sit here. We're going to be doing a live, and there's going to be aliens.
Oh, my God.
What else we have?
Tom Harris, I'm online, says
cute.
Heating, Unger online. Anyone know why?
Yeah, another heating thing from Tom. Q here, single point vulnerability means someone found a single entry point into the system and hacked it. And now each ground station must be patched and rebooted to block that. There you go. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So that could definitely be an issue. Single point vulnerability. That happens sometimes, especially with networks like Starlink that is, I would have to say, running off the seat of their pants at this point. They have oversold the hell and back when it comes to Starlink. Okay, you guys know it. We all know it. That's why I predicted that there was going to be throttling and caps coming and all kinds of stuff. We did not see a cap yet, all right? If you guys have seen it, you let me know. There's supposed to be a cap happening in April. There also supposed to have been a price raise that's supposed to happen to $120. I'm still at 110, and I have not seen the terabyte cap yet. So hopefully they keep kicking that can down the road. Okay, that would be sweet. I don't want to see a price increase, and I don't want to see a cap, and I don't want to see any of this stuff. All right.
Dan Tips word. Also, why would my router get hot during the downtime?
Yeah, we don't know. We really don't know about that. So keep on going here.
Trying to catch
Raccoons
up.
love to give humans grief. Yes, they do. Love that.
Especially him.
He's so cute, though. He's cute.
He's real cute. Ian, are the resetting base stations? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're resetting the base stations. The base station. Yep, absolutely. Raccoons constantly try to get into locked garages.
They get
raccoons
everywhere.
Have those hands. They could do some
They're
crazy things.
Cute, and then they open up and go.
We've actually had them through a crack this big, get a chicken and pull it out the crack and eat one of our a few of our chicken.
This is why you should not be nice to him. Just no. Chat Hastings.
She wants me to kill the damn raccoon. I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
He's cute.
We had relocated one already. This
we
is
did.
a whole.
Yeah, we did relocate one.
No, you didn't. Me and our son did.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't there.
Okay. That's a video.
Some people just stand in fire ant hills that are like 5 foot tall and don't even realize it. Who would do that?
I was too busy watching our child not get attacked by the coon that he was letting free,
and
right?
Then you just realized that you were just...
Well, yeah, and I was going to work and I was trying to video him at the same time. It was a situation.
She's standing in a red hill. I don't know. Red ant hill.
Chat Hastings.
Yes, we read that one.
Yep, we read that one.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, Gravelodon?
Yeah.
Gravely? I can never say it.
I don't know. Gravelodon. Gravelodon?
Gravelodon.
I don't
You
know.
have raccoon problems. I have possum problems. We got problems.
We got problems.
One had a stare down with me Wednesday night. Possum lost. Yes. For the win.
That is exactly right.
Oh my gosh. Now we are back online. I know we're like
Sweet.
delayed because I can see
everything
it on the
is
thing,
delayed.
so.
That's okay.
Tim, my second thought was, what did I do to Elon?
Yeah, just to piss him off, and that could happen.
Alan Banks, I looked for your earlier video on the subject and hear you say with your PureVPN service that you can set your
geolocation.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. With PureVPN or just about any VPN, you can pick what location you are transmitting or going through. Absolutely. But that still doesn't help with the outage at all. I'm using 2 dongles back to back and working fine. So in theory, I have 2 ports now. Yeah, absolutely. You can do that for sure. You can do the double.
Can you please say his whole name? Because I know what it is.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wow, go you.
I stomped it. Thank you.
Tom Zareski, heck, I thought we were under nuclear attack.
When I saw that Starlink was down, and then I looked, and the gateway for flying pixel. So when I saw that the gateway was down also on T-Mobile, I'm like, holy shit, is this like the oh shit time? Is this happening? I mean,
no.
Just think about, guys. Just think about this. If just in a split second, all data goes down.
Yeah.
Right? There's no more communication. What do you do? And those are the things that I think in today's day and age, I think we all need to think about that. If you lose all communications, what do you do? How do you communicate? Do you have a backup plan? Do you have any other means of communication?
Hi, Arnie.
I think there's there's things to be thought of when it comes to that kind of stuff.
What is your Starlink version from your settings?
Good question. I'll have to check on that. I know that it did change. Let me see what it comes up as.
Ian Muddy said, while you look for that, I almost got T-Mobile.
So my Starlink version says 2023.06.0. So someone else. So, all right, guys, if you guys are in your app, okay, open up your app and go to settings. All right, go to your app, then go down to settings, go to the very bottom, and then click advanced. At the very top, you'll see advanced and it says device. In the chat window, write your version. Okay, this is the good test because there's some people here, look at this, that are getting version 23.11.0 and 23.12.0. I have 23.6.0. What the hell is that? And what does it mean? I don't know, but it's something to know. So definitely put the version in the comments just so we know like what is everyone at, and maybe your location. Put your version and your location. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe Florida has one version and somewhere else has another. I don't know. So next, we got only halfway.
You do talk for a long time.
Okay. It says I check with T-Mobile home and things available at my location. Okay. NDAs are okay as long as there is no money exchange. That's absolutely true. That is true. NDAs.
Sebastian Florin, let's create an association that promotes prosperity for the common interests of people worldwide.
Could you imagine that?
Stop it.
Yeah. My Starlink is connected to metal roof with magnets. Holy shit. Had a storm come through and lost connection for about an hour. Was out. Rain checked. Okay, make sure it didn't come off the roof. I can't believe that you actually have this thing connected to your roof with magnets. That's pretty cool, and there's no problem with the signal. I'm literally perplexed. That's awesome. All right, yeah. I've never heard of anyone connecting their Starlink with a magnet. That's okay. All right. Let's see, safety device for security, the most unique way, not to say yes.
Yes.
Let's see, I live in most rural, yes. Let's see, Bo says, I live in rural most of the year and we have to be preppers. Prepared. Yeah. Like when you're in a rural area, you almost have to prep. You have to.
Brian wants to know, what's the best way to find out news for Starlink? Right here.
Yeah, here. That's what we're sitting here for.
This is it.
Yeah, so I read news on Starlink all the time, and that's why I do these videos, and I try to keep everyone abreast because I need to stay on top of it myself. Mine's back. Congratulations. These two are back.
Good on ya for prepping. I don't call it that. I call it common sense.
Yes, prepping is common sense. Yes. I have to agree. If you're not at least somewhat prepped for if something goes south, well, shame on you. I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we have a drop at 9:59. 1 second drop from our video. Thank you for putting that there. Let's see. It's 9:59. I got to remember that. I'm going to keep this.
Yeah.
Question. Is it okay idea to reboot the system after the outage? Don't reboot, because after the outage, it already did reboot. Don't reboot again.
Chris Shaw, what is the typical wait time for Starlink? I'm in Northwest Indiana. We have no fiber options, and T-Mobile isn't available in my area. It sucks. Yeah.
And you said you're in Indiana? Is that what it says? Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you go, I'm going to do it real quick for you guys, and then you can do it. And I don't know if it's going to work because we know that there was a site issue going on. But let's go to, I'm going to show you the screen in 1 second. If you go to starlink.com/map, all right, starlink.com/map. So this is what it looks like. And if you go, let's go down in here. You see how there's a light blue area and a dark blue area. Now, where did he say he was?
Indiana.
Indiana. Where do you see it? Here, Indiana. So Indiana, it says expanding in 2023. So this is Indiana. It is all dark blue. What that means is waiting list. If you are in this dark blue area, everything is waiting list. If you're in the light blue, there is no waiting list. Like I said before.
I wonder why, though.
I think it's congestion. They say that it has nothing to do with population, and I think that is not the case. It has to do with population, and it has to do with how many ground stations there are and how many POPs or point of presence there are to be able to handle the amount of people. That's just basically it. Anyways, if you can get best effort and you're in Indiana, get best effort, period. They will upgrade you to residential as soon as it's available. Next, can you do a video based on activating 2.4 gigahertz on the Starlink? I'm having a hard time doing it. It should be pretty easy to do, but I think I've done a video on that in the setup, one of my setup videos. And it's basically asking you to break apart your 5 gigahertz and your 2.4 gigahertz. And then you can label them or name them 2 different things. And you could have 2 different passwords on them. A good thing to do, guys, is break it apart. You have your 5 gig and your 2.4 gig. Use the 2.4 gig for, let's say, your company, right? People that are like coming to your home and you don't want them to have the high speed to use all of your data. Give them the 2.4 gigahertz. That's fine. That's good enough. And then use the 5.0 for yourself, right? Or for your kids or whatever. That's just what I do. I think it's a smart thing to do.
Derek, you both always have the best necklaces. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Can you do a video on activating?
We just read that
That's
one.
what you said.
Yep.
My speeds based on what direction the tide turns. My yacht on the anchor inbound tide is 10 up and 10 down.
Yeah, so he's using it on a yacht, on a boat.
Yeah, Jamie, I did notice a new option for it to shut down for any time people you want on a daily notice. It is called sleep schedule.
Yeah, the problem with sleep schedule is it's exactly that. It puts the thing to sleep, so you can't use it at all. I did a video talking about the heater, and they didn't listen to me. They shouldn't have a sleep schedule. They should have a means of being able to turn it to like sleep mode where it still works, but also shuts down the heater in intervals and stuff. So, but yeah, not a flan. That whole sleep thing is just whatever.
Okay. Gary, is reboot the same as the power cycle 3 times?
So the 3-time process is actually now a 6-time process. What that means is if you have a version 2 Starlink, you you unplug it and plug it 6 times consecutively with a 2-second or 3-second delay in between each plug and unplug, and then it does a factory reset. Okay. If you have a generation 1, at the bottom of the unit, there's a little button. If you hold that button in for like 10, 15 seconds, the light will go blue and it will do a factory reset. So it is different. Just doing a reboot or a factory reset is kind of a little bit different. What is this one up here? What you said, that makes sense. Here in Boston, we're living a few Starlink customers, and the signal here with me is very good. There is particularly no latency. Yeah, so it has to do with congestion.
Yeah, some of these are repeats because we're like,
keep going down. What is the best way to find out about Starlink outages? That's a great thing that Starlink should do. They should have an outage page. I don't think that they do, but that would be smart. Most ISPs do have an outage page. We'll see. What else we have here?
Does Starlink find satellites faster after being powered off if I stow it first? Didn't we answer this already?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It takes 15 minutes for it to kind of stabilize. That's it, to find the satellites.
Agolf said, I feel better now knowing that it wasn't just my Starlink that was acting crazy today.
Everybody. Fran says, I need to do a good stable video for my cattle. Mm-hmm. What is better, using my phone or Galaxy Note? So you're trying to do video. Fran is trying to do video. You can use your phone if you just, if you don't have a camera to do it. If you want really good stable video, there's units out there that allow you to put the phone into like a unit that allows you to continuously keep that stable video. Maybe I'll put a link in the show notes down below in the comments. I'll send you something so you can see. There's a bunch of them out there, and it will make it extremely
memorable
stable.
Places. Do we know that this? I guess what this update is taking forever to download.
Yeah, it's a 30-minute download or thing.
And 7 VDR, does your PureVPN slow down your speed at all?
All VPNs slow down your speeds. That's just the nature of the beast. VPNs usually have 250-bit military encryption. Whenever you encrypt stuff, there's going to be a slight delay. Also, there's going to be extra hops. Hops are how many times it has to jump to send your packets around. Mm-hmm. So if you go to a VPN, there's going to be added hops. Added hops means more latency. More latency means you're going to end up with slower speeds. So you're going to get a little bit slower speeds, but you're going to get also the security of using a VPN.
It is a full moon tonight.
Yes, love the full moon.
Ian Muddy, this is a camera question actually.
Okay, love it.
Q Yanto, get entry-level DSLR. I was going to get the Canon M50 Mach 2, right, but I understand they are going to stop introducing it, and now R50?
Yeah, the R50. So the M50 Mark II is a great camera. It's not bad at all. They are moving into the R50, and I would probably say just go with the R. The reason being is all the lenses are going to start coming out all for the Rs, and it is the mirror. It's like the future. So if you do not need to worry about, if you only need like 1 or 2 lenses, then go with the cheaper of the two, because they're both awesome and they'll serve you well. Trust me. So I would say go with an R50 if you can.
Mike Hallmark, you need to do a video putting the camera on chicken coop.
Yes, I've talked about that. I'm going to do a video sitting out at the chicken coop, and you guys can go and look at the roosters and all the chickens and everything.
Honey badgers. PureVPN works really well with MacBook Pro. However, not for iPhone. It always disables connection to Starlink. Do you have any idea why it's doing this?
That's very interesting. I haven't seen that happen, but I've heard people having some weird problems like that, and they've written into PureVPN and they've gotten just weird answers. So I'm going to have to look into that. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. Mike Chandler, while ours was down, it was stating heating. Ours is set at auto. When it came back, I switched it to off for now. We live in Colorado. Smart. Snowed just yesterday.
Yeah, just leave it on off for right now. There's got to be a problem going on. Elon Musk
William.
is trying to burn all of the houses down. Yes, Elon, that evil Elon trying to burn all the houses down.
Tom Harris question says heating in small letters under online.
Yeah, there's a problem with that.
There's a lot of people that are getting
heating,
this.
heating.
Fragile 1976. If my Starlink is in bypass mode, will it do firmware updates?
It does. Yeah. So the firmware update has nothing to do with bypass. Bypass is just sending over the data over to your third-party router. Your modem is actually not in your router. Your modem is in your dish. People don't know that, but yeah, it will update. So don't worry about it.
John Grady, the outages are hitting across Australia at the moment. Ooh, that's not good.
Oh, so right now Australia is getting these outages.
Mm-hmm. Again from South Scott.
More outages.
Yeah.
Fran says a rebooted Starlink and the heating message. More heating messages. N7 VDR says, does PureVPN slow down your speed? Yes, it does. All VPNs will slow you down a little bit. John says, is downloading updates update legit? Let me. That is what has been seeing since the outage. Yeah, it's downloading an update. It is legit.
Okay.
Let me see. Scott says my app says downloading update. Absolutely, it is downloading update.
He's in Brunswick, Canada.
Brunswick, Canada. Everyone is experiencing this, and now Australia is geting hit hard. Probably. Maybe Miami Pop is for cruise ships. That's a good point. I don't think that you're going to use an entire pop just for cruise ships because the cruise ships are just not just there. The cruise ships obviously go off coast, and when they go off coast, at that point they're using it in maritime mode, which is in the middle of the ocean. So now that we have satellites that are using those lasers that are interlasers from, or ISLs, which is inter-satellite link or inter-satellite lasers, they can beam the data at the speed of light right across the ocean. So it's not a problem. They can use pops anywhere. What was this funny thing? What was going on here? William says 28K and 14.
Frosty Delights. Hey guys, my Starlink farted.
Yeah, I think all of our Starlinks farted tonight. Let me go over to here for a second and go to here. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think everyone, this was definitely interesting.
Life and death.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, no. Vamonos. Without breaking your NDA, can you start focusing on PepLink for hot fallover? I bought a Balance 20 Cat 7, but regret it. It does virtually one after the first one.
Yeah, so a lot of people have been having, so the Balance 20 is a really good router. I did do videos on the Balance 20. I'm currently testing a Balance 20X. The problem with these routers is they're expensive. And that's why I'm going to talk about them. But the cost is like $500, and then like a module is like another $250, and then getting the service is like another X amount per month, and it gets to be very expensive. So I'll talk about it, but I have an alternative for you guys that once again, I'm not going to talk about just yet, but maybe in the next week. And as of right now, it's working out pretty well. So this entire broadcast is being done using this new system. So if you see any outages, all right, let me know. But, having Starlink going down as it is and having all of these problems and currently being, using both T-Mobile and Starlink, it's been, I think, pretty solid so far. But let me know.
But we were like...
We were in and out here and there.
Hey Cabron says, question, tried resetting my Starlink router yesterday, unplugged and plugged in 3 times, also tried app. I got the name I gave it from before and never saw Stinky or Starlink. Did something change?
You have to unplug it and plug it back in 6 times instead of 3 now.
Oh, that's a magical number.
Yep.
Mike Chandler, what does debug data accomplish, and should we do that periodically?
That's just, you really don't. I mean, the debug data is going to give you all of the information, all the breakdown. So if Starlink technical support, when there's ever any, if they ask you for it, you can send that to them, and then they'll go through it. Just don't worry about it. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of details in there. If you want to get really, really geeky, like me, I'll go in there and take a look at some stuff. But
Renee Hale statement: app shows 2023.11. Speed test 47, 6 to 7, but it also shows disconnected and router is disconnected. Odd.
So we're seeing 23.11.0. I'm getting 2023.6.0. I'm seeing other people getting 2023.12.0. So I guess it's 2023, either for me 6, I've seen 11, and I've seen a 12.0. So I don't know. I don't know what they all mean.
Life and death. The GPS system broadcasts ephemeris data once every 17 minutes. So any device relaying on precise GPS location can take up to 17 minutes before they get precise.
Yeah, and that's why they say wait 15 minutes for us to like lock in, so to speak. So yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. I use Sony camera. Yeah, Sony cameras are great. Matter of fact, this camera, the top-down camera that you see me jumping to every once in a while, here, this one right here, this camera right here, this is a Sony camera. This camera right here that you see us, which is our main camera, this is a Canon. This is an EOS R. If I switch to this look, now we're looking at that camera. Now that camera over there is an old 80D. So, I use whatever is available. I have so many I probably have like I got like a dozen cameras.
You think?
Yeah. And and a ton of lenses. So I just use, whatever. Sony does a really good job with eye tracking. So I really like them for that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we're finally getting down here. Wow, we're doing
getting
it.
there. We're chugging along, you guys.
Kentucky, we got firmware 2023.12.0. That's from Kentucky. Good. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for all the great info. You
appreciate that, Brian. Thank you. TP Link confirmed. Laugh out loud. I'm gonna return my PEP link. Vomino said, some people are just having issues with the PEP link. I mean, I like the PEP link. The balance 20 is really good. But I tell you what, TP Link, they do a really good job. I'm also using right now a UTT. Go in the pinned comment as well as the description of this live or any of my videos. If you just go down, you'll see all of these routers that I've tested already, right? The one that I like the best, that is the most affordable, that will do failover and load balancing and do it well, is the UTT. All right. I love the TP Link also. I use TP Link for mesh. So I've tried so many of them. Right now, the UTT is probably one of my favorites, but right now I'm also testing a PepLink 20X. I'll get to that in a future video.
Okay, the greener one. Why does my older laptop only pull about 50 megabytes down, but my newer laptop pulls about 270 down?
Yeah, that's a problem. Probably with is that Wi-Fi? You probably have an old Wi-Fi in that old laptop. It's probably a Wi-Fi issue, is what I'm gonna guess.
Chaplain Stephen Press Sr. It just occurred to me do you do a beginner's photography for digital?
I have not written a book on beginner's photography. That is something that I was going to do before, photography just absolutely took a dump. After the last couple of years, it's just been really, really bad. And you guys know, if you've been with me for the last year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever on the channel, I've been doing photography. I've been doing, Life After Adobe, cutting the cord series, a lot of different things. And whenever I do a video that has to do with photo, video, it falls on deaf ears. People are just not into it. I don't know what is going on. I went to school for this stuff. I went to school for the tech side, but I also went to school for fine art and photography, videography, filmmaking, this type of thing. So I love it. I love all three aspects to it, the photo, video, and tech. But it's just, like I said, it falls on deaf ears. It's just horrible.
Do you think it's because technology is so good?
It's the phone. It's because of the phones.
Well, the phone, but because technology is so good that it makes people in their mind think that they're just so amazing that they can take great pictures, but they're not taking a picture as a professional, like breaking down the image, how and why, and the color and all this stuff. And you come from a time where you had to actually develop film. Like, so you knew the whole back end of photography, whereas now they don't even teach that. Like, you talk to some of these people, trust me, they're just like, you know, and so, I feel like that's gotten lost, and it's almost faux professional, because they don't really know the whole full gamut, just a small portion of what is now.
Right. And I think that the phones have been the main reason why photo has gone into the toilet. Okay. I mean, you know, magazines like DP Review, they're shutting down. There's so many different, you know, Photo Plus Expo, WPPI. There's just so many different expos and stuff that are shutting down or becoming smaller and smaller and smaller because people are just not attending, right? So it's really, I think a lot of it has to do with the phones. I think a lot of it is people look at the image that they get on their phone and they're like, this is good enough. And we live in this era of good enough, and people don't want any better. Yeah. And if it's good enough, well, okay, it's good enough, and then that's it. But the problem is when they take a picture with their phone, and then later on they try to actually print it like an 8x10, and the picture was taken, let's say, at a birthday party, and it was dark. And then when they take that picture, they print it, they look at it like, God, this looks like shit. And the reason being is you have a sensor in this damn thing that is literally like the size of like a freaking like a pin. I mean, it's tiny, tiny, tiny sensor. It's just they're horrible. They're not good. Now, do they do the job? Yes, but they're more for like just capturing little pics, just moment shots, and you know.
But then what happens is some of those moment shots are the ones that you want,
and then they look like crap.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, for me, I still like to have like a small point and shoot with me to take pictures. I mean, the phone is okay. I mean, if you have nothing, the phone is best. You know, the best camera is the camera that you actually have with you in your pocket. And since every phone has a camera in it, that's why people are using it. So, I mean, it kind of is what it is. It's bad.
Peter Madsen, do you know why I'm getting so much advertisement when I am Chromecasting to my TV from my mobile, and I have turn off advertisement on Google? I was watching a video that was 1 hour and 47 minutes.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I really don't know, Peter, why you're getting so many ads. That is very strange, and you have the ads shut down. That's weird. I don't know. Eye tracking is why I upgraded to Canon.
Oops, sorry.
Where did it go?
Up here.
There you go. So from Canon to Sony. Sony does have superb eye tracking. Canon is really good too. And we're using a Canon right now. The Sony really locks in the eyes well. And Sony does a really good job with eye tracking spatially, three-dimensionally. So if I'm looking at you like this, right, and it's locked in to this eye, as soon as I turn my head this way and this eye is slightly closer, it will lock into this eye. So not only does it know that it's eyes, but it also knows the distance of the eye, and it will lock into the closer one. So there's a lot of good. Sony's doing a really good job when it comes to this stuff. Kudos to them for it. I don't shoot Sony for my professional work, but I shoot it for, a lot of video, and also some of the episodic TV that have gone from Panasonic, like EVA 1s, have moved into Sony's, the FX6 and FX9. That's for another video.
Okay. Picked up my UTT after watching your video, Derek.
Great. UTT is great. Yeah. I use a TP-Link mesh network. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So do I. Great stuff too. Let's see. I use Google Wi-Fi.
Alex Babbage. Just want to say hello from Arizona. Hi, Alex.
The Navajo Nation.
From one nation to the other. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for Starlink updates. Keep it up, and God bless you and your family.
Thank you so much, Alex. Really appreciate that. Blessings to you and your family too.
Phil's camping in Troy.
Peter says buffering. All right, he's getting some buffering. Let me know what time it is on that buffering.
Yeah. Any news on the mini Starlink dish? Arnie wants to know.
Have not heard anything. Just heard that, yes, there's going to be a mini Starlink dish. I have not heard what they're doing with it and why they're coming up with it. I don't get it. I want bigger. I don't want smaller, for me at least.
TDT Travels, I think the quality of phones has become so well that it outshines a lot of the digital cameras now.
Yes. I mean, the phones are just, they really, they look great on your phone. But once again, print it 8x10 or bigger and then take a look at it and see how the pixels just start falling apart. Turns into a mess really quick. 35 millimeter with the Konica Minolta. Yes, I do have an SRT 102, I believe, Minolta. Love that camera.
Ken Allen, really appreciate all the Starlink videos. I watch them all. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken. Really appreciate that. Hey, says William. Okay, he's running over there.
Josh, do you know how long the Starlink dishes last before they have to be replaced? That's a good question.
We don't know yet. I mean, I've had mine for literally the first 2000 Starlink version 2s. I have the first 2100 or something. I don't know. Anyways, that has been around for a year and 3 months or so, and it's still working. I had a problem with a dongle, but that's it. The actual wire, the wires are still good.
Chris Schall, question. If I buy Starlink Roam, will I lose my place in line for residential?
Yes. Roam, which was the old RV, Roam. You have Roam and you have Global Roam. Roam is $150 a month. Global Roam is $200 a month. Roam cannot be transferred into a residential. But if you have best effort, that will transfer to residential. They want you to have both. So if you want a roaming system and a residential system, you actually have to have two, sadly. They used to have the ability to do portability, is what it's called, portability. That means you can have a residential and take it with you. It's basically roaming. And then they said, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. So if you're grandfathered into portability, don't touch anything because you'll lose it because they don't offer it anymore. And it was actually $25 a month extra for portability. If you have it, keep that. That's gold. That's your golden ticket.
Tom Zareski, faux professional. Sounds like a politician to me.
Yes.
I've known a few, Tom. The good enough era says it all. Low-tech Greg. And Arnie says, when I was young, my father and I developed black and white film and made black and white prints, a lot of wet chemistry under the light and dim red bulb. Yeah, people don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah, Arnie, I love the smell of sulfur and chemicals on it. I had my finger in many bats of stop for sure.
Phil's camping and touring. Same for those GoPros. Poor quality compared to my Sony. That's so true.
Absolutely. The GoPros look like complete crap, but there once again is the purpose behind them. So, I mean, there's a good or the best camera for different situations. So buy the camera what you need for what it does. And the other thing is don't upgrade your damn cameras when you don't need to. So many people don't understand even how to work the damn camera, and they want to go and get a new one
because it's the latest and greatest.
Yeah, because their pictures look like shit. And the reason they look like shit is because they don't have the education. They don't know how to use it. So learn photography before you upgrade your camera. Yeah. And if you do need to upgrade your camera, stop and figure out if there's anything that you can do with that camera to do what you need it to do. If there's something that you need that camera to do that it can't do and you need to buy a new camera, then look into it. But the best thing you could do is buy a new lens and not a new camera. A new lens is going to give you a new look of your pictures, also give you a new look on everything that you're doing, a new way of using your camera even. Use like a 50 or use a 35 millimeter or whatever. Get some primes. Lenses are for life. Cameras are like toilet paper and they get thrown away all the time. Buy lenses.
Derek says, LOL, I am old. I remember when the first mobile phones started to have cameras. I thought, I bet someday all phones will have cameras. It's so true. But you're not the only one. I remember the camera. Phone. No, the camera with the cube. Click, click. Or the big one where you flip upside down the flash. See?
Yeah, I remember that. You'd be like,
yeah,
boom, and like everyone's blinded in the entire room.
If you even talk about that now, they're like, huh?
You're like, what exactly is a cube?
Going
a
back
flash
to basics.
cube.
Going back to basics.
Yeah, it just made a whole hell of a lot of light. It was like, it wasn't controlled.
But I think if you go back to basics, like knowing all this stuff, then you can understand the new so much better.
And that's why I think a lot of people that are
miss.
trying to do photography, videography, they don't understand the basis, so they're constantly chasing their tail instead of really understanding what they're doing.
Life and death. Question. All the YouTube creators who use their cell phone selfie cameras in mirror mode and never correct that, they need photography for vloggers classes.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Do you like photography for vloggers 101 or something? I like it.
Sir Carmine, with the upcoming arrival of Amazon the satellite internet market, do you think it will take a long time for Starlink to improve its service? Best regards. I send you a hug. Hug to you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So Amazon, they are not ready. There's nothing in orbit. So this is what happens. You know, Bezos over there, right? It's like they put out like all of these 3D and they're like, oh, this is what it's going to look like. Well, you have no satellites, right? There's nothing operational as of yet. That's number one. So Amazon is a long way before competing with Starlink. Then people will say, well, how about OneWeb, right? Are they going to compete? That's a UK company, right? Well, OneWeb is another one that, yes, they have a lot of satellites up there already in LEO. The problem is, I shouldn't say LEO, they're in LEO, but they're actually twice the height, or right around that. They're getting they're higher than where Starlink is. But regardless, OneWeb is focusing on government and commercial. So if you think you're going to be getting a OneWeb dish anytime soon, think again. It's just not there. So as of right now, you got Starlink and that's it. Eventually, you're going to see OneWeb. You're going to see Amazon. You're looking at a year or two, at least. That's my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Ken had a question, but Hangout answered it for him. Yes, everyone has had interruption with Starlink today. I wonder how the dishes handle UV light in the time, especially here where I live in Australia. Phil's Camping and Touring asked.
Yeah, so the top of those Starlink dish, that white film or coating on it is extremely durable. I think it'll be fine with like 10 years of UV. It is ocean grade or maritime grade stuff, so it's really
good for a while.
It's going to be good for a bit.
Wild boar. Do you name your chickens?
Yes.
But don't ask me all because that's our son.
Yeah.
He's named them all. So
the one
I can't remember. Yeah, Donald is like the big one
because
he's
big
like,
rooster.
Yeah, and then Polly is our turkey.
Yeah, we have a turkey that's like 35 pounds or so. The biggest turkey you'll see. Anyways, I'll take you guys out there.
We'll we need to do that. We've been saying it forever.
I know.
But, sometimes like the whole raccoon situation, that was posted on Instagram. So, for things like that, like little like clip-its, sometimes we'll
look
post
on
it on
Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. What is it? JCristina, right?
Yeah.
It's just JCristina.
Robert
one other thing, guys, before I forget. I set up a Rumble account.
Oh, this is important.
You guys asked me to set up a Rumble account, okay? And I did, finally, okay? I did it because a lot of you are like, oh, I wanted to get away from YouTube and I wanted to go and go on to and use Rumble for whatever reason. Can you set up a Rumble account? Let me see if I can find it. Let me search. I guess, how did we find it anyways? Maybe JCristina. Let me see if it pops up like that. Here. So let me do this. Here we go. Now, this is brand new Rumble. If you guys are in this chat right now, go here and follow me. I just set it up like a couple of days ago. I don't know. There's a grand total of 6 followers. So you guys could be the 7th, all right? Go follow me over on Rumble right now. I have so far uploaded just over 400 videos on Rumble. So there's a lot. So if you guys want to If you guys want to just watch on Rumble instead of YouTube, you could, but we're on both places. And I think that, a lot of you guys asked me to do that, so I did it. There you go. So definitely go and follow me over on Rumble. Click on that link and hit follow.
Okay. We left off. Hold on. Robert, how many Starlink mesh nodes can I use on my Starlink router? Great job, both of you, and thanks.
I think it's unlimited. I don't know if there's a limit to how many nodes. I think they'll send you 3 or 4. I'm not sure. No, don't quote me on that. But I know you can get it. You can buy at least 3 or 4 nodes to run with your main node. So let's say if you even had 3 or 4, each one. So your main router, let's say, covers 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet. Then you get your second one, that'll cover another 1,000, 2,000 feet. Then you get your third one, that's another 1,200. So literally with like 3 nodes, you'd be able to cover a 2-story, 6,000 square foot house. So I think that's pretty much it. And if you need to cover more and it's outside, you can't use those because those are not for outside. I did a video on mesh networks. Take a look at my Starlink playlist. I was very detailed on that, and I'm going to write something on it too. Probably a book.
Scott from South Carolina. I know Starlink routers aren't state of the art, but I guess great range out into my yard.
They are not bad,
200
honestly.
feet.
They are AX routers. And that's why I've always said, if you go with a third-party router instead of using Starlink router, make sure you get an AX router, something that is good. Don't go and replace it with something that's an AC router or whatever. Get a good router, all right? It's very important.
Chris,
Flying Pretzel, he sent $2. Thank you so much for that donation.
Flying Pretzel.
That Flying Pretzel guy.
I love that guy. Chris,
he says, Rumble,
Shaw,
land of the free.
home of the brave. Is there a way to boost the signal of T-Mobile home internet?
Chris, I will be doing that. Yes, it's costly, but you can. I found a bunch of things out recently, and I'm going to be doing more T-Mobile videos because people have been asking me about it. So, I'll be doing obviously the Starlink, but I'm also going to start bringing in some T-Mobile videos too. And what you asked for is one of the videos that I'm going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to be doing some other stuff. I said this, if you guys are around, I want to start doing some solar stuff. I want to do some battery backup stuff. I want to do some more things that a lot of people that are in Starlink community, a lot of us don't have access to fiber. We don't have access to fat copper, right? Like Comcast or
like we were talking about, you have to be more self-sufficient.
So the people that are here watching, a lot of you are more in a rural area that doesn't have high-speed. We are on the crap side of the digital divide.
Yeah.
I've talked to you guys about this, right? We have the digital divide, the haves and the have-nots. But the haves are the haves of high-speed internet access, and the have-nots are the ones that don't have high-speed internet access. We are part of the have-nots. So we need to stick together, and Starlink is one of them, and T-Mobile, and the Verizon, and there's a lot of other things that I'm going to get into. And a lot of the people are looking for solar, and they're looking for means of doing a lot of other off-grid type of stuff,
Jonathan B. Mr. Christine, I don't subscribe to many sites. I'm old and I don't have time for nonsense. I do watch and subscribe to your channel. Please keep uploading and perhaps more diversity, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate the subscribe, really do appreciate that. I try to, like I've said, this channel is all about the photo tech as well as video and Starlink. And I'm going to move into some other aspects too. There's a lot of things that I like that I think that you guys will be interested in, and I'm going to do more of that. I'll probably also open up another channel sometime soon because I want to start uploading some of the old gaming stuff that I enjoy doing too. And that has nothing to do with this, so that's going to be a separate channel altogether. I like doing different things because you get bored after a while doing always the same thing.
Low tech, licking bulbs, yes.
Licking bulbs.
TD Travels. Man, the talk of developing film, black and white photos brings back memories. I was wrapped up in that back in the mid-'70s. Ought to hear someone else talk about it. Yes, you have to remember.
No, absolutely.
People forget.
Absolutely.
And people not only forget, but people just don't know. Like, I don't know, like we grew up in a time where we didn't have all this technology at our fingertips.
Right.
So if you didn't know something, you made it a point to find out, to ask. Remember Encyclopedia Britannica? Like,
yeah.
woo, right?
Right.
But like that's how you learn stuff from the past, and you knew. Today, no one cares to know anything but what's right there in front of them at the moment.
Yeah, if you can't Google it, it doesn't exist. Yeah. Everything that Google
and
says
half the stuff's
is facts.
erroneous.
Yeah, and now we have ChatGPT. Obviously, that whole chat stuff where you have AI and you have, there's Bard. There's a lot of different chat stuff that the problem with it is it's really cool and it can create conversations. It's conversational, but the thing is crap in, crap out. If you end up with, it very nicely conversing with you, but the answers that you're asking for, the questions that you're asking, the answers you're getting are incorrect, well, what's the purpose of that? Right? And that I think has been happening a lot with a lot of these chat things. It's just, it'll respond with things that are incorrect. So,
Yeah. Fran, question. I have residential with portability, light blue area, but I'm going to be spending more time in.
I'm not sure where that is, but okay.
I'm not sure, which is waitlist. Should I get another SAT and waitlist it?
So if you have residential and portability, you're fine, because don't lose it, because portability allows you to take that thing anywhere you want. So when you take portability, you take your system to another state, let's say, you're going to get best effort. So you're going to get slower speeds. But as soon as you put it back to your geolocated area where it was originally located, let's say, you bring it back to your home, you're going to get residential, which will be full speed again. So don't lose that portability. You don't need to get another one. As long as you have portability, don't lose it, because it's no longer offered.
Mm-hmm. Phil's camping. I still have my enlarger for black and white processing. Yes. Kamikaze. Don't forget a thumbs up. It really helps small channels like this. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Kamikaze. Yes.
And we can use all the thumbs up.
Yes.
Derek Goodwin. Oh, yes, Rumble. Yes. Sam Thomley. What's up, Jay? First time catching you live. My Starlink was down for about 20 minutes. I did a reboot of the router and dish. It came back up saying it needed an update.
Yep, absolutely. Any ducks?
No
ducks. My son wants ducks, but we have enough.
We just have a lot right now. I mean, we have 2 lizards, a turtle.
Yeah.
What's on the other side? Oh, fish?
Yeah, a bunch of fish.
Chicken,
a turkey.
I mean, no ducks.
No ducks,
we have the
turkey.
Little chickens that we just started with that. Yeah, and the turkey.
We just hatched out 4 new chicken.
We're stocked up.
They're
I'm stocked up. It's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a lot.
Alan Banks. Yay, Rumble. Derek, YouTube is starting to suck for sure, and I do not want to support YouTube any more than I have to. Well, we're happy you're here watching us.
Yeah, exactly.
Scott from South Carolina, my son's chickens have really upped the egg production. Is this seasonal? Yes, it is, actually.
Actually, you want to know something? Egg production is coming up, whereas egg production was absolutely zilch for almost 6 months. And what we found was, I think it was Purina.
I can't remember.
Anyways, I think it's Purina. It's speculation, but everyone that is in our community of people that actually have chicken, okay, that have a homestead with chickeners, let's call it, us chickeners, right? Stop laying eggs. And my son, and we're all like, why aren't we getting eggs? I mean,
they do go through
things seasonally, but this was like no eggs for like 6 to 8 months. It's a long time. I'm like, I'm feeding these damn things. We need a damn egg. So Someone said in the conspiracy
theory.
Theory type of sites,
Switch the feed.
Switch your feed and they'll start laying. I'm like, this is bullshit. What do you mean switch the damn feed?
But like the thing is that we do mix their feed. Like they have their feed, but we also give them food and stuff. So it was odd that they weren't.
So check this out. We switched the feed like the conspiracy theory person said to do. And sure damn enough, like within 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, they all started laying eggs again. After not laying eggs for like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And a lot of people this happened to. Okay. So what that's all about, I am not going to speculate. You guys speculate all you want, but I'm going to tell you firsthand, no eggs for 6 to 8 months, change the feed, eggs immediately on all the chicken. And that includes the turkey. So this isn't just like one breed or one batch or whatever. And a lot of people said this. So this isn't just us. So I don't want to go down that kind of path, you know what I mean? But just understand that that is an issue.
Common sense, a little common sense.
Yeah.
Try things.
Change
figure things
feed.
out. Yeah. Ian, do you think Amazon will use those dishes they want to sell and get the service from Starlink, like cell phone service, in the future?
I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I don't think so. I think that they're going to be launching their own or using their own. But it's a Bezos thing. It's the shiny fucking diamond. I don't know what else you're going to say. Bezos is like that. He's always been like that. And, he sees that there's money at the end of the tunnel. He's like, oh, Starlink's doing it. I'm going to do it. And we see that not everything that he does ends up working out. Jay Robbins, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Roy. No, it's Roy Robbins. Thank you so much for that contribution. Really do appreciate that. He says, I have solar. All right. What is this? A Victron controller, Batten-Born batteries. Oh, wow. You got a whole setup there. And Blink security in the RV. Just ditched Starlink and used T-Mobile for remote monitoring and streaming TV and video. Wow. So Roy ended up ditching Starlink and is using T-Mobile. Now, I have both, right? And in my last video, I did some testing on both. And they're both great. The thing is T-Mobile's so damn cheap. I understand why people ditch Starlink that costs $110 a month for T-Mobile that comes to like $25 a month. We're not talking about, it's not apples to apples. This is like apples to like banana oranges someplace. You're literally getting almost 5 months for the cost of 1 month of Starlink. So, I mean, I get it. And kudos to you. Let me know, Roy Robbins here. Let me know what speeds are you getting with that T-Mobile? What is your normal average speeds? I would love to know your upload and download speeds. Next.
Ian, you think Elon will come up with a YouTube service, but Twitter?
A YouTube service, but Twitter or
like other than Twitter, I guess.
Oh, other than Twitter.
It says but Twitter.
Oh, I see. He bought it. The reason he bought it, he don't want to make it. I mean, it's just, to me, it just makes perfectly good sense for him to buy that, and he did. Is it going to be a moneymaker for him? Probably not. But when you have that kind of money, you can make statements with your money. And that was a statement, all right? Yeah. But it's getting better, and that makes me happy, all right? I have about 21,000 followers, I think, or 22,000, somewhere around there, on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com. I think it's JCristina. I think it is over there. But definitely follow me. So, yeah.
Derek and Peter, thank you for following us on Rumble.
Thank you.
Derek said anything to help you grow and
that's really nice of you.
Not be part of the YT.
Yes, thank you so much. I'll put that down there again.
Yeah.
You can follow me over there. I just put the link back in.
Kamikaze, I'd be very upset if a raccoon took one of our pet finches. Aw, I love my pet birds. Miss B, Boisson, Sandy, Billy Joe, Bobby Sue, Ethel, and Fred. I love it.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of birds.
That was upsetting when our raccoon, took our chickens.
Took a bunch of chicken.
Howdy, we are a full-time RV and Starlink allows us to work anywhere. We love it. Also, we have T-Mobile home internet with an external antenna. Works great. Salty Vet Adventures. That's so cool.
I'm going to be looking into one of those external antennas. Salty Vet Adventures. Which antenna are you using? Are you using a 2x2 or a 4x4? And who are you using it by? Who is the maker of it? Let me know.
Thanks, Phil.
Waveform? Let me know. Let me know who it is.
Fran, following on Rumble. Thank you, Fran.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Derek, do you have a Cash App or PayPal we can donate so you do not have to let YouTube take a huge cut in what we send?
Yeah. So on basically the email address, which is JCristina at gmail.com. Let me write that down in here.
It's right there.
Let's see. So it is PayPal, which is JCristina at gmail.com. So that right there is the standard, just a regular email address. That's the one that's connected to PayPal. If you want to make a donation, you can. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I can remember when I was in the dark room developing my own pictures. Bad when I was in high school.
Exactly.
I remember going to the library to look up how to use an
oscilloscope, yeah,
to learn how to line a floppy drive for a job interview.
God, I remember. I still have the floppy drives, big floppies. Man.
Oh, that's funny.
Just like Wikipedia definition of vaccine.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Smith. Absolutely. Bad equals back. Yes.
Where did you go?
Arnie says Starlink solar battery storage OTA. Yeah, it's over the air. Yeah, that works out great. That's awesome. I think doing videos and all that stuff will be good. There's a lot of people that are interested in it. Let's go right back over to here. 18th follower. Wow. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for following over there at Rumble.
I love it.
Made a process one way. Yeah.
Hasselblad. Mate of mine had a Hasselblad. You did a whole point and shoot thing with a Hasselblad.
Yeah. So I did a
few years back.
Yeah, we did a fashion shoot down in Miami. Hasselblad sponsored me, and we did a fashion shoot for a fashion designer, and we had three girls. Three girls. We took to a private island. My wife was the makeup artist and hairstylist, and Hasselblad sent over like $60,000 worth of cameras and lenses, and we did a shoot. It was at Burn Notice, if you remember the TV show called Burn Notice.
Well, they used it as a set, but it was a back lot.
Yeah, so we did a shoot on the Burn Notice back lot, and then we got on a boat and went right across from the back lot, which was a deserted or a private island. So only we were on that island with the girls, and we had, it was basically a full crew.
And it was like the only time in Miami that was like 40
so
degrees.
Cold. Oh my God.
It was so cold.
No, it was colder. It was colder than 40.
Well,
it was in the
really
30s.
cold.
It was like, we were there early in the morning. These girls are wearing very, very little, and it was like, let's say 32 degrees, literally freezing. Really and they were troopers. That was just awesome.
You'll have to share that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That link one day. Let's see.
I read that sunflower seeds give the chickens the need for protein. The needed protein. Yeah, you could use. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that you can do with our chickens. We give them a lot of scraps. I mean, literally everything off the dinner table. They get it. They eat it all, and they love it.
Yeah. Mike Hallmark, I am mad as hell. I was on the list for over a year, and Starlink said you can get RV, but not residential.
Yeah, don't. So RV is now gone. It's called Roam. But yeah, don't get. If you need Roam, get Roam. But if you want residential, try to get best effort. Let's keep going down here. Let's see. Kamikaze says if you want to see color, Pure, some developer and fixer, Shalapan develop 8x11 the closed room. Absolutely. It's been a while. Mr. Smith says
T-Mobile home internet is geo-locked. Once they find out you're roaming, they'll shut you down.
Yeah. Yes. So T-Mobile home is locked. It is geo-locked to your location because that's what it is. It's a home, right? So, and the reason being, remember, it's free, quote unquote free. It's unlimited. So they have to do that. If not, you would just roam around with it for $20, and you wouldn't even use a phone. You would use VoIP, right? You would just take your T-Mobile and stick it on top of your car with a battery, and then use this and call with VoIP, and you wouldn't even need cell phone. I've said this in the past. I think that these $200 bills are going to be going away, right? Just think about this. If Starlink can give you service, right, through the walls instead of having to be outside, which they will be able to do, okay? And Elon comes out with a phone. Let's call it a Pi phone, or let's call it a Tesla phone. And he can do that. These companies will be going out of business.
Could you imagine?
Because now you're only paying for data, right? Because that's all the shit is anyways. It's data. Could you imagine that? All that texting BS and how much text of this and how many of that and all this. It's all gone. Phone calls, all gone. It's just simply data. VoIP, voice over IP, photos, TV, TV. I can't wait for that time because AT&T, Verizon, all of these people have been screwing us for so many years. God, it would be so nice. Anyways, it might be coming.
So we're getting here to the end of answering Brian.
Good. Brian, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Support. Yes. Really do appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for the support. Thank you.
Scott from South Carolina. Any use for old satellite dish? Will it amplify a cell signal?
Any use? Will it amplify a cell signal? No. You need an actual antenna for amplifying cell signal. Look up a 2x2 and look up a 4x4 antenna. You'll see them. They're about $400. They're not cheap.
Vamonos. Question number 2. Why is upload on Starlink relatively weak? I see peak bursts of up to 40, then throttled mere seconds later. So is it a thermal issue?
No, it's a throttle issue. Just like you said, it's exactly what's happening. You're being throttled. Can it do 35 and 40 megabits up? It can. But they don't because there's a million people and there's a lot of congestion. So they say, we're going to give you 10. And then what they do is they loose throttle it up to like a 15, 16, but they could do 35. The download speed is easier for them. Just think about that, right? Think about that. So download speed is easier for them. So they very loosely throttle it today. So a lot of people are seeing, like myself, over 200 meg down, which we didn't see before. So that's really good. That's really good.
Are you guys going for a space ride on Starship? Wild Boar wants to know. I don't know if we had the ability to do that. I don't know if I could. Like that's like a lot of training and intensity.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it would be really cool though.
Like maybe one of those, where you go out of the atmosphere and then back in, like they're talking about. So at the beginning of the show, we were talking about how Starship is not only going to be able to ferry the version 2 Starlink satellites into orbit and also bring people and stuff to the moon, but it'll also be able to ferry people, is one of the use cases, ferry people around the world, meaning that you can go from New York to Singapore instead of in 19 hours with a regular plane. It'll be less than 1 hour using Starship. So there's things that they're talking about doing with it also. Anyways, could you imagine that? It's
no,
I don't even know.
It's kind of cool.
You got to have a serious budget to be able to. That's not private plane. You got a private rocket.
Asa Warren, always look forward to your videos. First time for one of your live vids. Well, welcome. Even though, nice to meet your wife. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you
Fabiola.
For being here. I am not the most techie person, as everyone knows. I'm just the sidekick.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun, and that's the whole thing. I mean, we've been doing this for a few. I mean, probably about
since black and white photography and the click.
Well, not that long. We need to get going though. This is like, wow.
Let's just get through these.
Yes, let's go through these last. Any other questions that you have? Throw them down there real quick. Put a cue before them, and then we're gonna have to get off because we've been on here. God, it's been over 2 hours.
We were making up because we started late with that.
Yeah, we started late. It was just like a whole wreck.
Derek sent you support via PayPal, and YouTube doesn't get a penny. Thank you, Derek. That's so nice of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. Will you? This is a good one, Peter. Will you film Starship's launch and post it on YouTube? We would trying to do this forever.
Okay, well, so the problem is we can't film Starships because Starship
Right.
is going out of Texas.
Right.
Okay.
No, but I'm saying like we've been wanting to go to Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, but Cape Canaveral is like about maybe 2.5 hours away from us. So I keep threatening doing this. The problem is sometimes they get canceled, and it's like to travel for 2.5 hours and wait, and then if all of a sudden it gets canceled, then we have to get a hotel and then stay there for a day or two or whatever. But yes, I would love to go for like a Falcon 9 launch and just be there on location and then record. I think that'd be fun, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to plan it out. It has to be one of those things though that we plan out because they always cancel. So like we have to be there for a few days just in case, you know.
So no matter what,
Right. Ian, I think that is why the FAA is keep on delaying SpaceX launching of Starship, and there is an terrestrial to block the 12
gigahertz frequency. Right. I think.
Every time I think like I hear terrestrial, my mind goes straight to UFOs.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, 12 gigahertz, of course. The government doesn't like Elon. Okay, they deal with him, but they don't like him. But they know they have to get in bed with him because he is Rocket Man, and he can ferry shit into orbit like literally daily if they need to. They don't have a rocket that can compete. So they have to be nice to him, and at the same time they have to be asses to him too. So it's like it's literally a love-hate between Elon and the government.
It's a lot. Where'd we look? Oh, yeah, Phil's camping. LOL. Yes, same here. Black and white photography. We could just book a room on Starship. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
And phones. Remember the days you had to use the dial rotate? Yes. And like if you had to call 911, it was like 9. You're dead. One. That's funny. Derek, love your lives. Thank you and keep them up. Chemistry between you is so great. Thanks again. You're welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's going to be 30 years this year with this guy. Like our son says, look at this guy.
30 years.
And last question, Peter. Arnie said, thanks to the Christinas, cheers to the chatters, and 73 to all the hams. Great show. Yeah, thank you to all you guys for talking amongst yourselves and helping people. We try to get obviously to all the questions, but in comments we can't get through all of them. But Peter's last question is, does Elon not have a contract with NASA? I don't think he does.
No,
does
he does. Yeah.
Is it like low-key contract?
No, it's a contract. He's got a contract with NASA. He's got a contract with the government. He's got a contract with OneWeb. He's got contracts with people you don't even know, right? Because even companies like OneWeb, they are been trying to get their satellites into orbit for so long, and they're using these companies that either go belly up, or they're slow, or they send their satellites to Russia, and Russia's like, hey, those satellites you sent us, we're not going to launch them, and guess what? You're not getting them back. No, I'm not joking. And they literally didn't give them their satellites back. It's like millions and millions of dollars gone. So they're like, so do you think they want to get in bed with Elon? No. That's a competitor, but they don't have a choice. Like I said, he's Rocket Man. Yeah. That's why the government has to go with him too. I mean, it is what it is.
Derek, wow, I love feeling old with you too. We're not old, Derek.
We're not old.
Don't use that word. It's not our vocab.
No.
He has a contract with God. I saw the OneWeb launch. Thanks for the great live tonight, morning. Your wife is funny as hell. I've been rolling over here. Mike. Well, and guys, we last one, Gravely Dawn. We can possibly see Starship's first launch from South Florida as going to go over Florida Straits between Florida and Cuba. That would be cool.
Really?
We see Falcon 9 launches from the Cape here too.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to go to see some of those Falcon 9 launches just myself, just to sit there. I mean, I've been there, back in the day when Discovery and all the other space shuttles were launched and all that. So I've seen them launch. I think it's amazing. It's awe-inspiring. And then when some people will be like, oh, satellites don't exist and the rockets don't really go anywhere and it's green screen. When you sit there and you watch them launch and you feel the ground vibrating under your feet and the air moving around you, you can feel your lungs feel like they're collapsing because of the amount. It's not green screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Trust me, those are rockets and they're going into outer space. Okay. And there are satellites up there.
All right.
Well, listen, guys.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks for the anniversary wishes. We still have like 6 or 7 months.
Yes,
but,
yes,
it's
yes.
like right there. But yeah, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight for such a long haul and for our delay. And hopefully we'll be back next Friday.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Let's see what happens this week.
Do me a favor also. Thank you so much for following me over on Rumble. That's awesome. Thank you so much for contributing during the show here, during this live. Thank you for that. Also, in the comments below, if there's anything that you want associated or related to this type of thing, tech, photo, video, whatever, if there is something that, like, for example, solar and all the rest of the stuff that I was talking about, if there's something that you really want, put it down there in the comments. I would love to know what you're interested in. Yeah. So anyways, guys, we're out of here.
Real quick, also, like, you put little things on Instagram, just random things, also reminders of things that we're doing. So
follow over on Instagram.
You don't put on YouTube. So just like
go
the
to
chickens.
Instagram.com, whatever. What is JCristina?
JCristina, on Instagram. So
all right, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you.
We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to all of you. Take care.
Happy Easter.
Yes. Happy Easter.